everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's Friday. We've made it through to the weekend, everyone. And that means one thing. We've got the call-in show. The link will be put out in the chat fairly soon. But we've got a couple of little bits to dissect first. And to help me do it, we've got my brother to my right. Shane, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, it's all good. While Shane's looking off into the stars, yeah? Darren, you all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Enjoyed the game in the week. Obviously, we're in the semi-final, so, there is something positive happening. I'm not sure how positive it's going to be come the end of the season, but let's wait and see. And looking forward to chewing the fat in this broadcast.
Yeah, no, buzzing, man. Shane, how are you doing, my friend? You found what's up
No,
there?
good, man. Clean up here, and I'm after getting a new monitor thing, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a bit cut out, and 2 sounds are coming in. Yeah, I'm all good, man. All good, can't complain. Yeah, city day over here in Ireland, but we'll warm it up with some football talk, I hope.
We shall. Cole, thank you very much for joining me, brother. How are you doing?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Thanks for inviting me on as always. Yeah, Wednesday was just excellent. But I think we can safely say we've now calmed down. Now we're back to reality now, and let's dissect this. People demanding that we apologise to them. Go suck your mum. That's what I'm going to say right off the bat.
Yeah. Listen, and
oh, by the way, one thing. So I was on with Lee Gunner a while back. Okay, Catch was on there as well. He didn't understand about history. I found a book in my loft the other day, and I was reading this when I was around about 18 or 19. And it was this: Arsenal in the Blood by David Lemon. Going all the way back from the start of World War II all the way up to 1998. That's how old this book is, by the way. This is what I used to read a long time ago, and I've still got it to this day. So
some of these geezers need to read it, Cole. Some of these geezers need to read it. And before I get into what will start off the show, thank you every single person in the chat, man. And thank you to Deluded as well. We give a cheeky little raid over here, man. So big up to you, brother. Always a pleasure. And thank you very much, man, for having me on your show. It's always one of my favourite streams of the week. Not just saying that, man. I always look forward to that. But listen, let's get on with it, yeah, because I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off, everyone. Starting to get a little bit pissed off. And do you know what? We all know, yeah, there's an increasing divide in the fan base, yeah. There just is at the minute. You've got the top gooners, the toxic negative ones and all of this stuff. And do you know what? Since the semi-final, the Champions League, we have seen a specific breed of Arsenal fan go into absolute overdrive. I mean, acting like Jim from American Pie, letting go in their pants, not just the one, but the twice. Just at the mere thought of success, you know what I mean? They are getting them boxes sticky, sadly, for crying out loud. But do you know what? And they won't actually get that reference because the film was in 1999, by the way. So, most of them probably weren't even born, these mutant Arsenal fans. But these kids, they just don't know, yeah? They don't know what proper success looks like. And I wore this specific shirt for a reason today. One, it's my favourite shirt. 2, it's because we were invincible in this shirt. We were champions when this was made, hence the patches. And I've got Patrick Vieira on the back of it. I know what winning looks like. I was there in 98 when we won. I was there in 02. I was invincible in 04. There's some people on the panel that go back. We know what it feels like to win. But I don't blame you. I do not blame you one little bit. Arsenal failed you for 2 decades, Top Gooners. They did. They failed you. And, they produced a whole bunch of donuts. That's all they've seen is Arsenal lose. And that's not your fault. It's Arsenal's fault. And that breeds your loser mentality, by the way. That's fine. And I've listened to one geezer last night demand Kenny Ken, a geezer, a fridge freezer who has got over 40 years on his season ticket. Praise the manager. He's demanding him to praise the manager. And in the same breath, refuse to listen to us, just have a little bit of constructive criticism about our captain, Martin Odegaard. And then he even criticised us for that. I mean, I'd love for anyone to clear that up for me. I mean, it's just a little bit madness. But I've also listened to one geezer saying he's happy with second place 3 times. 3 times. This ain't the Olympics, bruv. No silver medals, no bronze medals, my man. There's first place and no place. Absolutely. And in the same breath, he also said to me, this particular geezer, that he's got a warrior mentality. People in the chat, people in the panel. Guess what happens to Warriors when they finish second? Their heads rolling on the sand, bruv. That's not Warrior mentality, bruv. That is fucking loser mentality. I've listened to these donut fans say they'll keep the manager if we lose 4-0 to Madrid in the second leg. My subconscious, man, it is telling me I'm literally wasting every single second of my time and breath debating this. But it's a tricky one, yeah, because of YouTube. It's really, real tricky one. If I was approaching the boozer, yeah, and I will wrap this up soon. If I was approaching the boozer and someone came along talking this nonsense to me, I'd tell them to fucking get away from me. Go away. I wouldn't associate myself with these geezers, but I guess welcome to YouTube. But listen, everyone, this is the quality of fan out there right now. It's the quality of fan out there. But listen, don't worry. Maybe it's just us. You know, they've secured, let's not forget, they've secured the quarter-final cup now for the first time in 16 years, by the way. Maybe we'll get to a final for the first time. It's in 19 years, but they've got that. And these top gooners, this isn't me just saying it. This is what I think they're probably going to do. I think they'll probably organise themselves a little parade for the quarter-final trophy that they've won themselves, beating Madrid over 2 legs. And a bit of food to celebrate after, maybe in Wacky Warehouse, you know. Have your fish fingers, your chips and your beans. And if you're a good boy, you get a bit of dessert after, playing the ball pits and all of that. Do you know what I mean? They can have a bit of fun, bring a £1 coin, turn the old machine, and maybe you'll get a sweep with a tattoo on it or something. Maybe a bouncy ball if you're lucky.
Cream egg.
Such an easy life living in Princess Syndrome land, isn't it? It's such an easy life. Guess what, though? On the other side of the universe, where people in this panel live, where people in this chat live, we conduct ourselves in sensible debate and act like fully grown men. Case in point, Declan Rice, yeah? I've never thought he was a number 8. Never have. I've always thought he was a number 6. And me and Kenny Ken have polite debates about it. And we disagree all the time. But last night on Potsy's channel, I sort of said to him, I was like, do you know what, mate? I'm coming around. I'm actually sort of coming around to the point that, yeah, you know, he's actually not that bad. I can see what you mean when you say that. Did Kenny Ken ask for an apology? No. Nah, why didn't Kenny Ken ask for an apology? Oh, yeah, because he's a fully grown adult. That's absolute madness. And do you know what? There's another guy as well. And I actually like this guy. I do like this guy. He was bragging to me when we had a debate a couple of nights ago, yeah, that he won the debate via the comments in the chat. Full of like-minded donuts, by the way. Absolute fully like-minded donuts. I just thought to myself, man, that is just like bragging about being the smartest person in a classroom full of Down syndromes, isn't it? Like, what are we doing, bro? Listen, mate, a clock is broken twice in the day, and mostly it's broke. That's what you are, my man. You're absolutely broke. But listen, this is what you all came for as well. My groveling apology. So I'm going to give you this, Top Gooners. I am sorry. I'm sorry you've got single-digit IQ. I really am. I'm so sorry you've got absolutely no shred of the history about this club and you thought its inception was in 2019. I'm so sorry about that. I really am. I'm so sorry you grew up with 2 decades of failure. I really, really am. I'm sorry I don't have an apartment next to you in La La Land. Really, really, really apology. But mostly, I'm sorry that you are so insecure and need validation in terms of an apology from fans that spend more of their time going to games and you spend more of their financial means. And the most important thing in commodity is time. Give me a break, man. I feel sorry for you. I'm not saying sorry to you. I feel sorry for all of you fans that come out and you need apologies. You are pathetic. But guess what? I'll do you one more before I let someone else go, and then that person will be Shane. If Arsenal get knocked out by PSG, do you know what I won't be doing? I won't be asking you for a fucking apology. I'll be devastated. That's what I'll be doing. I won't be asking you for apology. Do you know why? I'm a fully grown fucking adult. What we doing here? Arsenal YouTube. Wake the fuck up. Arsenal fans, wake the fuck up. Seriously, man. It's getting to the point now where you're taking the fucking piss. I just want to talk about football. People that have got some form of IQ. And your IQ is the same as your fucking Emirates Stadium attendance. 1. It's ridiculous. I ain't giving you no apologies, bruv. I've been with my missus in 11 years, man. Do you know what I mean? I only apologise to her when I have to. I ain't fucking apologising to you because Arsenal may get to a Champions League final. Where will you be? You'll be on stream watching it. I'll be in fucking Germany, bruv. That's exactly where I'll be, man. Come on. This Top Gooner shit has got to stop now. Shane, when are you going to give the Top Gooners your heartfelt apology that they so well deserve?
The short answer is never. because it's such fucking nonsense. I've been on your channel before and I've had rants about this, man. You know, we're all Arsenal fans. And when I talk about such and such a person, right, or if I'm trying to use something that they said and say, look what this top gooner said, I will often say, nearly every time, depending on who it is, but I'll say, look, he seems like a genuinely nice guy and he's an Arsenal fan. So I have no issues with him. I just don't agree with such and such a point, and then I'll get onto it. This having to apologise nonsense. We're not in the fucking schoolyard. And it's no coincidence that the vast majority of these top gooners, there's none of them over 30, man. There's barely any of them over 25, all right? So people go on about not knowing the history and stuff like that. It's not. It's that they are part of the Emirates generation. They're part of Arsenal being a PC shop. They're part of Arsenal being this collective, and they buy into all that shit, all right? They're not part of the Marble Halls Arsenal. They're not part of the Arsenal. They support Arsenal, not the Arsenal, the way we do. I have no issues with the way they support the club. Support them how you want. I've said many times, I'm only at this game, I'm not even 2 months at it, and I've said many times, I wish I had some of their mentality. I wish I could go into every game thinking we're the best team in the world, but I can't, because I'm a realist. And if they think that this is good enough this season, then they've got issues. If they're going to settle for this in second place, and well, Jesus, when I was growing up, man, nobody talked about phases or 8th, 5th, second. Nobody talked about that. They just said, we haven't won anything in 5 years. We need to win something. We don't support West Ham. No offense to West Ham, but they've won something in the last 5 years. Okay. So, and I heard today that someone apparently took a shot at me. I don't even know the chap, right? He's got multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know if it's true. If it is, fair enough. He's allowed his opinion, but he's never even spoken to me if he did say it, right? So, you know, I don't know why he's coming at someone with 100 odd subscribers, if it is true. But, you know, we probably know who it is. He likes to use fancy words, even though he doesn't understand half of them. He likes to act like he's on Sky presenting, you know, and he likes to he has about 8 little buzzwords that he thinks make him sound intelligent, and they don't, right? And here's one for you. Sesquipedalian. It means someone that uses big words, but they're a fucking idiot, man. All right? Now, I'm not going to fucking have this thing said about me being an Arsenal fan. You owe me an apology. The problem is most of these pups, man, I've forgotten more about Arsenal than they know. I've forgotten more about it. I know Arsenal. I know football, full stop. And I won't have these people tell me how to support my club. I won't have them tell me, you have to apologise because I was right. Do they think that we were sitting there watching the Madrid game going, oh, Madrid are winning 3-0. How will I ever show my face on YouTube again? I couldn't give a fuck what they think, man. And I'm sorry for the language, but it winds me up, man. And it winds me right up because I'm tired of it being a game, of being a schoolyard game where you have to come into chat. I came into this YouTube thing to talk to people like yourself. And fair enough to talk to so-called top gooners and have a debate, man. But they think that a debate is, I can shout louder than you and I can cut you off when you're mid-sentence and go, whoa, 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 whoa. I heard someone say to you, take off that jersey. I mean, such a lack of respect, man, for someone to say that. I was watching, I nearly threw the phone across the room. You know, you can't say that to someone. Not someone like you, a season ticket holder, man. You give your life and your blood to the team, and I'm not going to have it anymore. They'll say, oh, yeah, now they're triggered. Oh, yeah, now, and you cut it and do all you want with it and say, oh, yeah, they're raffles. And it's not about that, man. It's about how dare you talk about me when you don't know me. You know, we do, of course, we categorize top gooners and we put them all in one thing, and we probably shouldn't, right? But they are entitled to their opinion. But so are we. And just because they predicted Madrid winning, right, it doesn't mean that they're geniuses. They also predicted us beating Brentford, and they predicted us beating West Ham, and they predicted us beating Villa, and they predicted us beating Newcastle. They were wrong every single time. A 100-to-1 winner, and I'll finish on this. 100-to-1 winner won the Grand National. I'm not big into horses, but I know a 100-to-1 winner, maybe I'm wrong, won it years and years and years ago, right? If you bet on that every year, you're going to be wrong 150 years, or however long the Grand National's been going. You'll get it once right. You get it right once. You can't start dancing around then like you're a genius. You got it wrong 149 times, pal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did they come to us and apologise when we say, you watch now, Gabriel's going to drop? You call that. Did they come apologise to you? Aaron, you said Gabriel's going to get injured 2 weeks before he did. Did they apologise to you? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't want the apology, bro. We don't want it.
Don't want to. That's like us saying, oh, yeah, Gabriel's injured. Now they're going to have to say sorry. You know what I mean? It's absolute nonsense. I came out of that Fulham game. I was at it and I was down. And everyone was, what's wrong with you, man? We won. What the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm like, yeah, we won. But Gabriel's going to miss the Madrid game. You know what I mean? So that's,
you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. To pick out the thing because we won, so just be happy. Everything else is insignificant. You can't have constructive criticism. How dare you? We won. No, so don't constructively
criticize the last 90 minutes. That's their mentality. The last 90 minutes is Arsenal's history. Is that what that book was called, Carl? Was it the last 90 minutes?
Yeah, something
You're
about
on mute,
blood,
but yeah.
right?
It wasn't called. It wasn't called the last
Sorry,
90 minutes.
no, it was
Sorry.
back from the end of the Second World War. That's when that book started.
Thank you. Okay, because the Second World War was 90 minutes ago, wasn't it? No, it wasn't, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, mate. Now listen, before I bring Dazza in, yeah, that geezer, man, yeah, he told me to take my 2005-2006 blackcurrant jersey off. Yeah, with their Wigan final game and Sol Campbell on the back there. I don't know whether he was trying to see what I'm like underneath the t-shirt or not, see what the chassis is like, but well, you know, it's not that kind of show, mate. Do you know what I mean? I kept it on, and guess what I said to him? I was like, listen, man, I bought this shirt while you were still in nappies, my boy. That's what happened, mate. You were still doing poo-poo in pants when I bought that t-shirt. Let's get that absolutely right, man. But listen, the Arsenal's inception was in 2019, though. And like, yeah, man, that's how these lot debate. I've noticed it. They debate by screaming like loudly over than everyone else, like 13-year-old girls. Like that's what it is. Like they just debate like little gossip queens. It's unbelievable. I just sat there and I'm just like, listen, you're just shouting, man. That is not how you win an argument. That's the lowest form of debate, is just shouting over someone. The lowest form of debate. But just quickly again before I bring Darren in, man, we got some fantastic people in this chat here, man. FC always, big up, brother. Karma, she's come straight from DG's as well. Big up, man. Devontae in the chat. AFC always, yeah. AK40, AK, big up to you, brother. Macy's in the building. You'll be on soon. Static, I've sorted that out. I don't know why it keeps happening, my friend. Joe's in the building. AB also, man. Thank you very much for the support. We got United fan here, Nelson. Big up, geezer. Ryan's in the building. Dazza, my brother. Smoke Tube. Big up, mate. Users here. We got Joshua in the building, brother. Boy Dio, man. Always a pleasure. Luca's here. George Sullivan. We'll get down a little bit more. Vigilantes in the building. How you doing, man? And Anthony Herbert, big up. Yeah. Are you still sat in the stall? Yes, I am. Yeah. I am sat in the stall, and it's not being propped up. I'm 5'10", not 4'10". He's taking a piss because my dad calls me a hobbit. Either way, yeah, I know. Yeah. What can you say? It makes me laugh. He's like 6 foot. Fedor's is big enough, but he acts like he's Courtois size. He's only about that much bigger than me, but I guess every inch counts when you're a man. Darren, moving on very swiftly. What do you think of this, man? What's your apology note to all these fans looking like?
Right. Well, to me, this is just the latest instalment of Arteta out. No one should even be considering any apologies at all. And here's the thing, right? Let's forget Arsenal football and everything else. If you have a row with someone or something goes wrong, and you say, I'm demanding an apology, and that person comes back to you and says, all right, then I'm sorry. What's better, if you demand the apology, or if you move away and over a period of time, that person comes back to you and says, I'm sorry, actually, you were right? The more genuine and the more valuable apology you're going to get is the one where you haven't demanded an apology, right? So, unfortunately, that's the nature of these dumb fans. They think because we've won a quarter-final that it's time for all us people that are Arteta out and on the Arteta out journey, which is a long journey, but it will be one where we are victorious.
Yeah.
Nature will dictate that anyway. But I believe we will be victorious in a short term rather than long term. So, a lot of what they don't see is what Arteta has done here with the team is more by accident than design, right? Havertz is injured. So Mourinho comes in and is actually doing a better job than Havertz up front, which to me is an embarrassment on Arteta's reign, yeah? So I just think it's crazy for any mainly younger fan, and let's be honest, there's a few older fans that spout this shit as well, to come out and start demanding that fans that might have a different opinion and a realistic opinion should start apologising and all of a sudden giving it all this to Arteta. It's just not going to happen. There's too many of us now on social media. I'm not on it half as much as most people, but there's too many of us that are of the opinion that Arteta never had the credentials in the first place. And here we are 5 years down the line, and we're in a quarterfinals of the Champions League more by accident than design. We're taking the field every game with 10 men because number 8 is just, he runs around. Now, he had a tidy game in the week, but the emphasis is on the word tidy. It was nothing special. I was impressed with him because normally he's dog shit. What he did well in the middle of the week was he never give the ball away, held onto the ball and just give us a bit of breathing space in the midfield.
Yeah.
And I did a half-time on Insta and a full-time on the game, and I actually disagreed with someone who's normally on my side on the Arteta outstakes, saying get rid of Odegaard and all this. I'd get rid of him. I'd put him on the bench and I'd sell him in the summer. But I actually give an honest opinion. I'm not going to deliberately kill players every game because I don't like. If they have a reasonable game, then I'll say that they've had a reasonable game. And I just felt Odegaard did hang on to the ball for us to give us a bit of breathing space, but he didn't create fuck all. And that is what all these fans will try and have you believe. Without him, we ain't got any creative spark in the middle, which is absolute garbage. Now, I had a debate with E20 of West Ham a few months ago on Declan Rice, saying that he thought he was a number 6 and a defensive. Now, I've always felt we signed Rice from West Ham, who are a smaller club than us, no disrespect. And if we're paying 105 million, I want in my team a central midfielder that can go both ways, like Patrick Vieira did. And I actually believe, not gassing it up, I actually believe that Declan Rice can go up and down, score goals and make interceptions. He won't be as good as Patrick Vieira and nowhere near as skillful, but he can do the same sort of role where he comes back, puts a tackle in, and then he steams forward and gets 5 to 10 goals a season. So it's ridiculous for these supporters. We're only in the quarterfinals. Got to play Paris Saint-Germain next, very good counter-attacking team. And then we've got possibly Barcelona or Inter Milan in the final that are going to be a completely different prospect. Inter Milan will be very tactically difficult to break down. We've played them already and lost. And, that's not going to be a picnic if we get to the final. But at the end of the day, we're in a good position. But look, Arteta... right, we need a manager that can get us to compete for 4 trophies, not just for 1 or 2, and fucks off on holiday to Dubai every year and says, League Cup, FA Cup, put that in a bin. Yeah, I'm sick to death of all this shit at this football club. Now everyone's going around saying what a wonderful bloke Arteta is. Well, let's see how wonderful he is in the semi-finals.
Yeah, facts, man. Absolutely. There you go. Yeah, 100%, man. Thank you very much for your take on it. Cole, I also know you feel a little bit strongly about the situation. Everyone on the panel, man, does. That's why, you know what I mean. We've got these guys here. We all feel exactly the same way. Cole, how close are you finished to penciling your heartfelt apologies to all of these lot, man? Because I mean, they really, really want one. They are double desperate for a little sorry.
Well,
sorry.
Put it this way: the only way I'll say of an apology would be if we win the Champions League, because then it will just prove me the fact that okay, this manager has got us over the line. Okay, maybe we was wrong on it, but for the last 5 years we haven't been saying that we've been wrong. We've been calling it out as we've been saying it. The missed opportunities, throwing away the FA and League Cup, which is an absolute disgrace. Knowing that's a feather, knowing the FA Cup is a feather in our cap. We've won it 14 times in our history. These fans have got absolutely no idea of... They've only understood, because they're very young, they've only stood the current modern era of Arsenal. They don't recognise how... They can't even go back to when the last time we was in the semi-final of the Champions League, for crying out loud. That's how much of a short attention span that that side of the fan base actually has. And you look at it from this perspective, okay? They gas up every single win. Was it great beating knocking Real Madrid out? Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. I think all of us on the panel can fundamentally agree that was 2 great games in Europe, which we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. But pump the fucking brakes, because this is not done yet. We got PSG to face. They're not exactly going to be a walk in the park either. If we do get through, we're going to end up facing either Barcelona or Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Spanish teams always win European titles or on the international stage. I've won it 27 times in a row. That's going against the grain on us. And Inter Milan, they're the best defensive team in the Champions League. They'll stink that place out. And they'll make us sweat and struggle, right? So let's not get carried away with the fact that we have a chance of winning it. But at the same time, the fan base should need to calm its tits down with the situation of asking an apology. I'm not even going to demand an apology. The reason why is I've been saying this for time. I goes, since we bottled top 4, I didn't want this manager. I didn't. If he ends up winning something, okay, cool. He gets to stay on. But let's not just say, what I don't want to see, Aaron, is if we do win the Champions League, and then all of a sudden we go another 4 or 5 years of not winning anything. That's the bit this fan base might just cling on to. Oh, yeah, but look at 5 years ago. He won us the Champions League. That was 5 years ago. Guess what? Memories fade over time. We can only look back on the Invincible season. We can only look back on the League and Cup doubles in 98 and 2002. We can only look back on reaching a final of the Champions League in 2006. That's all memories now. It was great. We can relish in it. But you can't just continue to sit on your laurels with what has happened in the past. You have to see where the term of phrase, it's not what you have done, it's what you have done for me lately. What have you done for me lately, Arteta? Oh, that's right. 5 years of not winning absolutely anything. And everything will come to a head if he doesn't get in. Now, I'm not certain. Now, look, I spoke to my mate earlier on today, and I basically said, you know what? I actually have more optimism now because I think we can make the final now because after doing, it's Real Madrid. I have more optimism. This isn't me being going on being a top gunner. This is me being optimistic, but it's a level of cautiousness at the same time. And that's what we all need to be. Great. We're in the semi-finals. One game at a time, all the way. And if we get past PSG, it's a final. One-off game, 90 minutes, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But
you know what? Yeah.
But please don't try and demand us here to say an apology if we do win the Champions League. We want to win those big ears, the Gary Linekers, as much as the Top Gooners do. We are craving for it. We're demanding it. So if we do win it, guess what? We got what we asked for. And we're going to be as happy as a pig rolling in shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate, 100% facts. 100% facts. So before I bring Rashid in, do you know what they remind me of, these Top Gunners? When they actually, when their balls drop and they grow a little bit older and, eventually they find a woman stupid enough to sleep with them and they have kids. Do you know what they're like? Do you remember when X Factor and that was good back in the day? And you just get like the kids that go on, the 18, 19-year-old, they have no talent. Their singing is just absolutely atrocious. But you've got the dad that's going, no, go on, you're the level of deluded ones. Yeah, you listen to my son and your glasses are bursting in the front room, your TV's cracking. They've got no pitch. That's what these Top Gooners are going to be like to their poor little kids. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, go on, Britain's got talent. You've got talent, and they're just stood there. Do you know what I mean? Picking their nose and doing something like that, or burping the alphabet or something like that. Yeah, you got talent. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Just quickly, before we've got a couple of super chats I want to run through. Jason Carter, man, you don't have to do it, bruv. But big up and thank you very, very, very much, my man. Big up to yourself. Big up to Aaron and the elite panel. Yeah, man, they're always elite panels. And Joshua, thank you very much to you, my man. Imagine Spurs when you win in Europa and Arsenal lose the final. No. I don't want to imagine that. I remember we was actually both last in the final, wasn't it? The other way around, and we both lost it. One thing I did sort of think about, I mentioned on DGs, was could you imagine we both won it and we played in the old Europa Super Cup or whatever it is, the European Super Cup? That'd be quite good. That's another surely guaranteed trophy. That'd be in the Arteta would be getting to stay another year then, wouldn't he?
Oh,
hell.
Talk about a year.
Yeah, I mean,
That's more like 3.
Maybe have that one, Tottenham.
More like 3, 4 years.
Technically, that is classed as an actual trophy. The European Super Cup is actually technically classed as an actual trophy. So you can say it's won twice.
It's not a charity shield, I'll tell you.
It's not a charity shield. It's professional rules.
Shield.
Do you know what amazes me? This is what amazes me. Is that you said something, Carl said something about this is the only Arsenal team they've seen have success. But you've seen other teams. You've seen City have success.
Your mic's a little scratchy.
You've seen
is
Rashid.
it? Yeah.
You've seen Liverpool. You've seen. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. I just thought I'd let you know. I didn't really mean to cut your flow.
It's dead. The battery's dead. But you've seen Liverpool. You've seen other teams make it. Why have you not learnt from it? Why haven't you turned around and said, "Oh, I want to be like Liverpool. I want to be like City." Can you guys hear me, or should I get the headphones? I should get the headphones.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, just a little scratchy. That's all, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, just quickly while you set them up. There's a good point as well for our take all W's. We should get an apology for Arteta pissing away every trophy besides the UCL for the last 5 years. Absolutely agreed, my brother.
So what I was saying is, why wasn't you demanding success? Because you were seeing success. You can't tell me this is the only success they've seen. And furthermore, I want a sorry for the Premier League. I want a sorry for the FA Cup. I want a sorry for the Carabao Cup. You should have won. You should have won one of them. Because this manager is the second highest paid manager in the world. They're finding every excuse to support this manager or to protect this manager. They want to be so right. That's why they demanded those sorries. They want to be so right about this manager. And in the end, if he doesn't win it, then we'll turn around and say, see, he didn't win it. Now we're talking about 4 trophies he hasn't won this season. And we're talking about 19 competitions, 0 trophies. But of course, for them, beating Real Madrid is a trophy. They've already gave him 3 years. They probably give him 3 years for just beating Real Madrid. They don't care how we beat them. They don't care about the tactical aspect, how we beat them and how we struggled against other teams. The lower team, I don't want to call them that. The other teams, like, for example, a Crystal Palace or Aston Villa or Newcastle, or those actually, Newcastle are doing well. But the point is like, I want to understand how these top units think, because you can't just write off everything because of one trophy, one run that we had in one trophy. You need to be more objective. Now we're gonna look at how long this manager's been here. Don't worry, Klopp won the Champions League in the 3rd year, so you can't be telling me that Arteta is amazing. He won it in the 3rd year. He didn't spend as much as Arteta, and he still won it. Why? Because he's a top class manager. Arteta's inexperienced. So if he's inexperienced, are we just going to wait for him until he has the experience someday to win a trophy? No, sorry. We don't have that time. We're Arsenal Football Club. We should win. We should be winning minimum every year. We should be winning a trophy minimum. And every year we should minimum get second place. Second place is like minimum. You don't even talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear you tell me that, we got second place. Second place is mandatory for a club like Arsenal. Even on FIFA, if anybody likes FIFA on in the chat, as soon as you sign for Arsenal, second place is mandatory. You have to get it. You have to get it. You have to challenge for this league. We didn't challenge. We met Man United. We lost the first game, first round out. Newcastle, we played them 3 times. 3 times you couldn't flip the game. Nothing changed in those games, and they beat us on it. But that's the thing. That's the thing. It just annoys me how ignorant these
we have an imposter in the chat. We have an imposter in the chat.
We're in trouble.
Catch.
We got Catch.
I'm miles away.
Catch. Hey, listen, Catch. If you want to jump on, but there's 5 of us. There's 5 of us. But we big up to Catch, bro. Big up to the whole
fan zone. We respect Catch.
We're gonna.
He's good lad. He's good lad.
Listen.
He's a good laugh, Catch, but he debates like a teenager.
Wait,
just
what?
Screams over here with nonsense.
Listen.
Catch,
this ain't gonna stop. This debates we're gonna be having with Catch and his team, with us, it ain't gonna stop. But at some point, one of us has to be right. At some point, it's gonna happen, because it's been too long waiting for this manager. It's been so long. But at the end of the day, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a team that I love this game. Exactly, me too. Me too. I love this game. I love this game. Like I told you, Elise channel, I thrive on this. This is what I do because catch. I have friends like you. I have colleagues. So he's a guy called Andy. Oh my days. He's such an Arteta in, like it's amazing. It's amazing. He just told me
I
that.
don't know how old is he, Rashid?
He's actually like 52, something
How
like
did
that.
he make it to that
Oh.
age?
I do not know.
Having
I
that
do
kind
not
of
know.
mindset, how did he make it to 52, man? It's just
Didn't
madness.
walk
Isn't
off a cliff or something.
When we lose, he hides out. He hides out in his office. He just hides out in his office until I'm like, "Tak, tak, tak, hey,
Until we
what
win
are you
again.
telling me about the
Like
game?
that.
What we? If
Is
we're
it clear to
winning,
come back out again, is it?
if we're winning, he bring his cup of coffee and he comes to my office. He's like, hey. So what do you think about the game yesterday? Oh, why didn't you talk about the game that was before that? But yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. It's always gonna be like this. Debates are gonna happen. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But now we
Let's
cease
just
fire.
do it maturely, bro.
We do it maturely. But for now, I just think where we should cease fire until the Champions League's done. Either we win it or we're out. Because listen, I don't think it's enough just to beat Real Madrid. We've beaten Real Madrid before and we haven't won it. Do you think anybody remembers Arsenal for 2006 because they beat Real Madrid? No, they remember Barcelona, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, them man, because they
Not
won
fondly.
it. They won't exactly. They
One of the
won't
worst
remember
days
us.
of my life, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not joking you. That was one of the worst days of my
Yeah,
fucking
for all
life.
of us,
Yeah,
Aaron,
hell.
all of us.
Hell.
We all. I think even the top goon, everybody, every Arsenal fan, that was one of the worst days of our lives because that Champions League was supposed to be ours. But hopefully, I don't know. Bully me and lie where? Nah. Look. At the end of the day, I'm just hoping that something will come from this manager. I really don't understand how he plays. I'll be honest. To this day, I still don't understand his philosophy, his football. I just still don't understand it. It was attacking, then controlled, then defensive, then ultra defensive, and then I just don't know. But yeah, man. If he wins it, I'll be like, fair enough. I'll give you another 2 years. It is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. No,
That's very generous, Rashid.
Yeah, quite generous, right? I know. I'll just give him that 2 years because at the end of the day, it's the Champions League. If he won, for example, a Carabao Cup, I don't think it's enough. A lot of our team, a lot of people that we from our community said that if he wins the Carabao Cup, they're more generous than me. If he won the Carabao Cup, they'll give him another year or two. But yeah,
If he wins
don't
the
show-
Champions League, he gets one more year.
He's got
I
2
don't
years
know,
on his contract. He's got 2
but-
years left on his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
Catch
that's
said-
what I'd give him.
so therefore-
Oh no,
So therefore, if he doesn't get an extension, it's like, okay, so if he doesn't win anything the following season, like, okay, well, you won the Champions League last season. Now you're into the final year of your contract, you better win us the league.
yeah.
Or
I-
win another Champions League again. You know,
Cat
win us
some-
something.
Catch said something in the chat, and I thought it was slick. It was good. Don't
Big
that
up,
show you he can do more than one tactic? Do you know what it shows me? It shows me that every tactic failed. That's what it shows me. Every tactic failed. The attacking tactic, we didn't win nothing. The controlled, we didn't win nothing. The defensive, we're gonna see. But yeah, apologies, Aaron. Apologies.
No. I don't need apologies, mate. Come on, we don't
Big
have
up
to do
Jezza.
apologies on here.
up
Hashtag no
Jezza, man.
apologies.
Just for the
Hashtag no
record,
apologies.
I didn't demand Rashid in the private chat to give me an apology just then. Yeah. We don't do that kind of thing over here. Do you know
Okay.
why? Because we're fucking adults. We're fully grown.
Can I
men
jump on
over
one
here.
point, Aaron? Sorry. Can I
No.
just jump on one point that was made?
You will apologise for me, yes, Shane. You will apologise for just cut me then, and I demand it right now. You will.
I'll be quick. It's just, I'm sorry, I've lost your name. The gentleman next to me,
Darren.
Darren.
Sorry, Darren. He made a great point that, you know, an apology. If you give an apology to someone, a forced apology, you know, an apology only means something if you respect the person you're apologizing to. It means absolutely nothing otherwise. And just one more thing I want to say. When we're tipping away at Arsenal all the time, right, and they need to improve this, they need to improve that, right? I've got 3 kids, right? One of them's 25, the other one's 14, and the other one's 12, right? They're all really well mannered kids, right? Because I tipped away at them through their childhood when they did something wrong. I'd say, look, you shouldn't do that. You should hold it to my sons. You should hold the door open for her. You should say please and thank you and please and thank you. If I didn't chip away at them all the time, they'd be brats and they'd be out of control. So we just want to chip away at Arsenal and make them. We want the small little things improve because we want it for the long term, not for the short term. In the long term, you want to send your kids out into the world well mannered, well adjusted, ready to take things on. If you don't fix the little things, even if Arsenal win the Champions League, the massive wage bill doesn't go away. You know, that there's a fact that we need 6 new players doesn't go away because the little things haven't been looked after all the way through. So when we get at this team, and that's why if Arteta had won the Champions League in his second year or won the league in his second year or third year, and then he won it again, I'd give him more than a year. But because he's done so badly, even if he wins the Champions League this year, you only get 1 more year, mate, because of the mess you've made. I need to see that it's not a fluke. And the top owners can take that with them because we're only looking out for the long term of the club. Because when Arteta goes, right, Arsenal still goes on. You know what I mean? And when he's dead and buried, Arsenal will go on. Now, granted, he's a Lego man. He's made of plastic. It takes about 1,000 years to decompose, so he'll be around for a long, long time. But this club goes on without him. It goes on without us. It goes on without any of us. So we just want the long term. And the long term for me at the moment is the sort of short long term. The next 5 years, man. If you've pulled back all the stats, Aaron. We're in trouble here with this wage bill. Kai Havertz is our highest paid player. We're in trouble with the wage bill. How do we get rid of these players? We needed 5 players going into the summer, and now we're going to lose about 6 more. You can't sign 11 players. Look what happened to Forest. They nearly went down when they did that. Granted, it's working out now. But, I mean, that's just the way it goes. And, I said I'd only be quick, but listen, I'll pass it back to you, and we'll move on.
Catch, and I know you said in the chat, and big up to you as well, man. Like, you are a good sport, and I do actually personally like you are sound. But when we're talking about, I know we're in the Champions League, let's just quickly take away from the Champions League at the minute. Because what Shane's saying is a fantastic point, and it made me bring up my little table that I bring up. It's not the best little graphic you'll ever see in the world, but it hits home, and I want you to see it, Catch, because this is what we talk about. We talk facts when we're on here. This isn't opinions. This is factual. Yeah, this is Arsenal's season. This season compared to the last 2, I call it regression FC. Have a little look here, Catch here, bro. And I just wanted to see some things where we come from. This is the table after 32 games this season, 32 games last season, 32 this season before. Find me a metric where we've improved on. Wins this year, 17. Wins last year, 22. Wins the year before, 23. Draws, 12. 5. 6 the year before. Losses, 3. Losses, 5. Losses, 4. Oh, maybe we've slightly improved. We've only lost 3. Fantastic. We've only lost 3. Excellent. Goals for, 57. Goals for, 75. Goals for, 77. Yeah, we're dropping 20 goals at this same stage last season, by the way. 20 goals again. The defense, though, is the best defense in the world. 57. Against 27. Against last year, 26. 28. So we're not progressing then. We're not getting any better in defensive. Granted, that ain't that far, but still not better. Goal difference, how are we doing? 30 compared to last year. Oh, we had 49. Year before, we had 43. Okay, so we're not defending and attacking better anywhere near as a collective unit. Okay, but surely the points look a little bit better, didn't they, Catch? 2 years ago, we was on 75 points. Last season, we're on 71. Oh, we've got 63 this year. How far are we away from the leaders 2 years ago, Catch, I wonder? Oh, yeah, we was 5 points ahead of them at this stage 2 years ago, albeit a game in hand. Last season, though, we were only 2 points behind the eventual winners. Oh, yeah, this season, we're 13 points behind. So the point I like making for this, because all of you boys listen with your ears and then you don't do anything with it. I like to let people listen with their eyes. So I put these little stats up here so people can just see. You probably won't pay any attention to it, but I hope you do, my friend, because there is something up there for you, my man. This is not good. And when Shane's saying it's not just about, oh, yeah, just be buzzing, we know that there is still an underlying problem. We are happy. We're all buzzing with the win. We all are. We're absolutely elated, man. I'm buzzing, bruv. I'm absolutely buzzing we got through in the Champions League. But that does not negate from the fact that we are on a horrifically downward spiral from the last 2 years. It doesn't negate from the fact that, look, we're not scoring as much, which means what? The strikers in the attack ain't scoring as many, which means Odegaard ain't setting up as many. We are regressing in these metrics, and it is a worry. We've still got to win 3 games, by the way, for you to say that Arteta's been successful this year. And if he doesn't, then the world comes crashing back down again, because guess what? We haven't won anything, and we are getting shitter. Just because we're in the semi-final and we won the quarter-final trophy does not make this a successful season. We've still got 3 games to go in that competition, and I fucking hope we win all 3. But it's problems like these that exist massively, and they will continue to exist after the PSG game. They'll still continue to exist before the Champions League final, should we get there. Every Premier League game in between, and to the next one. Go and watch Everything Wrong with Arsenal 1.0 and 2.0 catch. And I pull the curtains down on absolutely everything, my man. Because there's hope for you yet, I think, my friend. I really do. There's some hope in there. But you've got to admit, when you look at the stats, and they're from PremierLeague.com, not Aaron was drunk and punched some numbers in the keyboard.com. These are actual facts. They're undeniable. And if you say to me, like someone has when I put up this stat, why are you being so negative? This is a negative spin. Well, then by definition, that means your club's negative because it's their statistics and their numbers that are actually on the screen, not my opinion. This is just the facts. Unarguable, unarguable, rather. Aaron's going to start talking English in a second. Facts. F-A-C-T double fucking S. Facts.
Aaron.
Go on, man.
I've got a, he said, what? I've got a bounce. Yeah, love for having me on. There is some big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to Shane, Darren, as always, Carl. You already know everybody in the chat, including you, Catch. Hey, by the way, Catch was saying, when was the last time we got to the semi-final? By the way, we got to a semi-final. Was it 2008?
16 years ago, 2009. 16 years ago.
2009?
Semi-final. Yeah, Manchester United.
Semi-final with the youngest team. That's first. And secondly, I want to end it here, yeah? I want to end it here. Big up DJB, of course, in the chat. I want to end it here. Catch, listen. We were right about the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. So 3 for me, 1 for you. Respect. Respect.
Jose.
Hey, see you there. See you later, guys. Yeah.
Rashid, bro, big up, man. Yeah, last time we made the semi. Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, Catch. What are we doing here with this? Yeah, Catch, bruv. It was 2009, Manchester United, my friend. The last time we got a final was 19 years ago. We're talking the best part of 2 decades, bruv. That's why, do you know what I mean? What happened in that game? What have we seen between? We've seen Barcelona. Do you remember that? Oh, Xavi, that comeback. What a comeback. But guess what? We remember it now. It's just the game. Yeah, that Jack Wilshere done really good in. Because guess what? We didn't win anything. Guess what? Unfortunately, we didn't win in 2006. We didn't win anything. We had a different... I remember the semi-final against Villarreal very well. We should have absolutely spanked him in the first leg at the Emirates, but we didn't. And Kolo Touré got a goal. And then Juan Ramon Riquelme absolutely bottled it. And you could see it in his face. I remember it like it was yesterday, bruv. Absolutely remember it like it yesterday. That was a long time ago. If he doesn't win this, who's to say we're not going to wait another 16 years for the semi-final trophy? The point that we're all making is, yeah, we are all gassed, but we have still got 3 huge games to win it. There's no apologies here, bro. Like, and I know this ain't aimed at you personally. Like, it's just the whole collective of the other side of the fence. It's not aimed at you personally, Kat. So please don't take it as that way, because I'm not being that way. It's only just because you're in the chat and I'm sort of talking directly sort of to you, but not about you, if you kind of catch my drift, my friend. I'm just trying to show you, bruv, with stats, with them, because people listen with their eyes. So when you see stats like that, go and watch them 2 other streams, Everything Wrong with Arsenal. The stats are there. They don't lie. There's underlying issues with this football club. Just because we're in a semi-final of a competition doesn't write off 5 years of absolute shit. It doesn't write off 5 years of declining signings. It doesn't write that off. It doesn't write off 5 years of being unable to sell players. It doesn't write off 5 years ago. We'll never get players into 2 years in their contracts again. And we've got fucking Saka there, Odegaard there, Martinelli there, Saliba there, Gabriel there. The point in case is, we are not fucking operating as we well should be. And a semi-final doesn't mask half a fucking decade and £750 million spent of shit, my friend. It just doesn't. It's just fact. Shane, jump in, bro.
You think, listen, again, Kat, we're not getting at you, mate. I shared the stream with you not for long, and you seem like a lovely bloke, and we're all Arsenal fans, right? So this isn't directed at you. It's just like Aaron said, you know, you're in the chat, and we're just directing it here. You know, we called it that as soon as Arsenal get to the semis, that the people on a so-called other side of the fence, they have their ammunition out to keep Arteta for a few more years. They'll say, look, progress, right? You can't compare getting 1 round further in a competition to 3 years of that. The stats were there of decline in the league, of decline of goals, decline of points, decline of, yeah, okay, we finished second, but I mean, it's not a comparison, and we want Arsenal to get through. We want Arsenal to win it. Of course we do, man. I'd give anything. I was in tears when we lost the Champions League final. I was in tears when we lost the FA Cup final to Michael Owen. I threw up when Naeem scored from the halfway line. I would give anything for Arsenal to win the Champions League, but I don't get carried away. I enjoyed the win when it came and went, oh, great, and now we move on. To move one place further in a cup competition, it doesn't. Even the team that wins the Champions League, they're not the best team in Europe necessarily every year. It doesn't mean that. Steaua Bucharest won it in 1985, man. It doesn't mean that they were the best team in the world at the time. Red Star Belgrade won it in the 90s, right? So I would love to win it. It would mean that we are the champions of Europe, but it doesn't mean that we're the best team in Europe. There's all the underlying problems that Aaron points out are still there. We still have Zinchenko on 5, 6 times, 7.5 times, sorry, the wages he was on at City. We have Havertz as the highest paid player, and he's a joke. These problems don't go away. And yes, if we win it, it should be a springboard to go on, and more players will come, and we might be able to get rid of the ones we have. But nothing is won yet. And if we get to the final and lose it, the Madrid games and the PSG games were just nights out. They were little moments. And like Rashid said, yes, we love watching the Henry goal at the Bernabeu. It was brilliant in 2006. He credits him, one of the best goals ever scored in the Champions League, right? But I remember the final loss more because we didn't win it. I remember Lehmann's tackle more because we didn't win it. So we're all Arsenal fans here, all of us. And it's sad that it's split the sides, but it has. But we've had personal shots taken at us over the last while, right? Few of us on the panel have. And it makes no sense just because of one result. And if you want to go into we were right, you were right, we've been right all season. And those two masterclasses by Arteta against Madrid sandwich an absolute shit show against Brentford. You know what I mean? So even if you want to go short-term memory, we were awful against Brentford. Oh, we made loads of changes. He should have made more changes. I would have taken the loss if he made more changes. I'm not even talking about the result. I'm talking about him playing party from the start and playing him at right back. I'm not talking about the result. I'm talking about his shit show as in he took chances that he just shouldn't have taken, man. You know what I mean? So, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you think that if Arsenal win the Champions League, we're all going to be good at it, then you're completely wrong. The reason that we're here is because we absolutely adore this club. We absolutely adore this club, and that's why we do this. But like I said about raising kids, we just want the best for the club. And there's so many little mistakes happening that we see that we want fixed, and they're not getting fixed. And in fact, they're just papering over them, and they're festering, and the mold is building, and it's going to cost more to fix it in the long run. If you see a spot of mold at home, you fix it quick. You don't leave it. You don't paint over it because you're going to end up spending a lot more money to fix it in the long run. So, I'll harp back to it. Everybody is entitled to their opinions, but that's all it is an opinion. And to go back to it, we're not going to apologise to anybody because there's nothing to apologise for. Everybody thought Madrid were going to win, not just us. And if you called it the other way, fair play to you. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you've called a lot of times when we've lost.
Yeah, that's it. Broken clock is right twice of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just madness. I just can't believe people just need validation, man. Like, I just want to talk to people about football. Like, and I get, you know what I mean? Everyone's all like, oh yeah, debate. Like, if we're going to have a little disagreement or something, let's just do it like men. Like, let's just talk about it. I don't need to be screaming and shouting. I'm not used to it, bruv. I'm just like, if someone comes to me with that energy down the boozer, I'll just go away. Like, you just sit down, calm yourself down, calm down, put your pint down, have a little sip of it, whatever calms you down. Don't twist the fucking thong you're wearing, and we'll just have a little chat about it. But everyone's just fucking ma. It's a young geezers game. Do you know what I mean? And if it ain't for me, it ain't for me. But there was fortunately people that do like to listen to what I like to say. And if some people don't, there's a X at the top right hand corner. Press it. Ta-la. Bon voyage. Darren, man, Catch brings up a good point here. Now bring up the Champions League. We have improved. We have improved in the Champions League, but don't really mask anything, does it?
By one round.
We haven't improved for the whole Champions League. We've been good in the Champions League. To be fair, as a whole, we've been good this season. But do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I know what you're saying as well, Carl. Hit me up with what you're thinking, Dow.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think we'll get in the final. I think we'll beat PSG. I expect. Now, I expect us to beat PSG. Now we've got to beat Real Madrid. I don't want to be knocked out to Paris Saint-Germain Because if I am, believe you me, all this here, what I'm looking at, and all these other channels are going to be red hot with Arteta out, right? Now, so we get past PSG, then we've got to face Inter Milan or Barcelona. Now, all these people that promote Arteta say, oh, well, there's progress, we're in a final and everything else. But is their mind going to get triggered to think, well, actually, if we'd have had a better manager than Arteta, would we not have won this competition a couple of seasons ago? Because the first thing that springs to my mind, if somebody says, what would you do if Arteta won the Champions League? The first answer I've got is, well, he should have done that about 2 or 3 seasons ago with all the money he's had. You know, so I just don't get the logic of these people, and I expect us now to get in the final, and it just boils down to the same old, really. Of we have got what Shane was saying about all these holes in our squad. That let's say we win the Champions League then this season, and Arteta gets another year. Now, as much as I don't like the bloke, it is personal with me. I don't like his personality. A lot of people come in here and say, I haven't got anything personal with Arteta. Well, I have. I just don't like the bloke, full stop.
Mm-hmm. Arrogant.
But there's even me, right? If we were to win the Champions League, even I would say and accept, well, he's probably got to have another year, unfortunately. And then in that time, you'd hope that the club are going to say, right, well, let's have a look at the Zinchenkos, the Jorginhos, and even the Odegaards as well. And I even include Ben White in this because I think he's toxic after what he did with England. And people don't give a shit about England. I do, but you've got to step outside your loyalties with international football, because at the end of the day, you've got attitude. And what you can't dismiss is Ben White went to play for an international side and he went, no, I'm not listening to you. Fuck off. I'm going home. Yeah. And when you have people like that working for you, you've got no control over him. He's getting a big salary and he's thinking to myself, I don't need this aggravation. I want to be on the beach. I want to be by a pool. I'm not interested. And you got a chance to be a European international winner or a World Cup winner. That don't sit very right for me, right? So what I'm saying is if we go and win the Champions League, you know, Andrea Bertha's going to say, well, all these wasters have got to go. We got to get rid of them. I don't care about wage bill, and because now we've won the Champions League, I don't know how much money we'll get for winning that. But, you know, there's got to be a clear out. Whatever, even if we win the Champions League, there's got to be I don't want to hear from Arteta sexuals, oh, we've won the Champions League now, we ain't getting rid of Georgie and all these silly pet names they have for these underperforming players. I want a clear out, gone, you know, in the close season, because we need a manager, as I said before, that can compete on 4 levels. There was a time, March used to be the highlight of my year, because I think we're in the FA Cup, still in the Carabao, still in the league title, and we're in the Champions League. And Wenger would be competing on 4 fronts. We never done the quadruple, we never done the treble, but we did a double, FA Cup and Premier League twice. Yeah, he could compete on all levels. He knew how to rotate players, who to put in when. Saka's going burnt out. All right, Saka's done well in these 3 games he's been back. But, you know, we are reliant on him. But I'm hopeful we'll win, you know, the Champions League. Like a lot of Arsenal fans, who would not want to win the Champions League? Everybody. Yeah. It's the only one that we ain't got on our notch. Yeah, that is the one, you know, we want. But it's not the hardest one. The hardest one's the Premier League, because you've got to be 38 games of blood, guts, and Burnley away in the frost and shit like that, you know. So, you know, it is. There's got to be some big clear out in the summer, as far as I'm concerned, irrespective of whether, you know, we win that trophy or not.
Yeah, no, man. Facts. I'll bring Cole on this before I say my bit as well. Dave CT, first off, appreciate your view. Pete, we're all allowed different views. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm really confused. I don't know where this is going, so I've obviously pre-read it. Wenger won 3 league titles in 30 years. 24, I think.
22 years. 22.
Yeah. 22 was it? Yeah. Thank you, Shane. Put some respect on Arteta's name. He changed everything about the team. But in what you're saying there is Wenger won 3 league titles. He won 7 FA Cups while he was there as well, and loads of community shields. Arteta's won 1 FA Cup with a other manager's team, and he's cleared that team out quite ruthlessly and assembled his own team over half a decade and £750 million spent, and he hasn't won anything, my friend. So whilst I do appreciate that the angle that you're coming from is saying that he's changed everything about the team, he has changed everything about the team. He changed everything from a winning team in the FA Cup in 2020 to a losing team in 21, 22, 23, 24, and maybe 25. Here's a fact for you, Days, my brother. We won't win the league this year, and that will be, and this is facts, my friend, listen or don't, it's entirely up to you. If we don't win the Premier League this season, which we won't, that will be the 18th since the FA Cup, sir, the 18th consecutive competition Arteta has entered for Arsenal Football Club and failed. If Arsenal do not win the Champions League, that will be the 19th consecutive failure that this manager has been in when he's entered competitions. That, my friend, is exactly why when we say, yeah, he's changed everything about the team, and I can appreciate that, you know, like he has got us to some level, but what we're saying now is he the guy to take us to the next step? Now, we don't know if he's going to win the Champions League, so I'm not going to say he's not. We don't know, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident after the Real Madrid legs. I am. But when we're going off history and not just the last 90 minutes of football, Daz, listen here, my friend, brother. When we're not just going off the last game, we're not going off the last 2 legs. We're going to go off the last 5 years. 5 years. And he has performed pathetically in the Europa League. He didn't qualify for it. Then he went out like a whimper to Bayern Munich, one of the worst Bayern Munichs I've ever seen in my life. And now he's got to us with this season. Fair dues. Since he won the FA Cup, third round, fourth round, he got humiliated in the semi-final against Newcastle. So whilst I get you saying he has changed a lot about the team, the point is, brother, he's not changed them into a winning team. This is the factor. He has not changed us into a winning team. And when I'm thinking about, yeah, let's go and get me the man that can get us over the line, guess what? Why I think Arteta can't get me over the line is because in the last fucking 5 years, he hasn't. It's not difficult to see from my perspective. I think when I've read that super chat of yours, and thank you very much. Thank you for the view and thank you for the comment, of course. I've looked at that and I can see where you're coming from. I'm not just destroying you. I can see what points you're making. I'm just trying to get you to at least see where I come from. You don't have to agree with me. This is not how I roll. You've got your own mind. You do what you want to do. But I'm just letting you know how I feel, bruv. And I think how I feel is probably the better way to look at it. But listen, thank you very much anyway. Appreciate the support as always. You know, we're going to try and get a green screen. So that will help towards that. So big up to you. And Joseph, my geezer, my absolute fridge freezer. Sorry, Carl. I know you've been waiting there very patiently. So sorry, mama. Joe is saying, my geezer, you're a good nickname, mine, Darren. Yeah. I don't know. I'm lost on that. I must have not read one of the comments up there before, my friend. So yeah, but listen, Joseph, man, you've been here since day dot, man, and love, brother. That will also go to a cheeky little green screen. We're gonna be trying to stream in the loft, because you know I'm in my bedroom at the minute, and the missus, yeah, she's not kind of happy when she wants to go to bed. I come downstairs, she's all crumped up on the sofa like that, and I'm like, yeah, now you know how I feel when I'm in trouble.
I cannot confirm or deny that. Okay.
Yeah, but now both of you, big up, man. I double appreciate it. Yeah, Cole, man, jump in where you sort of want to do, my friend. I mean, we was talking about the Champions League before. So sorries. You jump in where you want to go, my brother.
It's not. You're not going to get an apology out of us, and if we're going to continue to do it, then fine. All right. Also, that super chat has got his detailing wrong there. It was 3 league titles in 3 years. Wenger won, not 2. So, but thank you for the 5. Thank you for the £5, Pillock. Anyway, listen, we can continue to bash on about this all we want, okay? But at the end of the day, we want what's best for the club. You know, managers, players are just cogs in the machine. They can be replaced and go if they're not working at any given time. Okay, it happens in every single sport. It happens in football. It happens in rugby. Happens in cricket. Happens in the NFL, basketball, baseball, hockey. It happens all across the board. When you support a club, you support the team. You support the club itself. Okay. Yes, you'll have your one or two odd players that you like and support. Obviously, back in the day when I was growing up, my favorite player when I first started watching Arsenal was Tony Adams. That was my favorite player at the time, okay? And then it went to Thierry Henry. But after Henry and the last person, that was Santi Cazorla. They're the only three I could really latch onto. Is I really like this player, but I still put my priorities as the club before a player or before a manager. I have to see it for the manager. Your job is to win trophies and to keep being successful for this club. The players have to keep playing at an extremely high level to maintain that standard and maintain them trophies over the course of every single year. And the minute and it's down to the board to adjust players, sell them on, buy youth in, buy brand new big end talent and so on. And actually, that's how you sustain it. Okay. But what we're dealing with this fan base at the minute in time, does anybody? I'll give you the dictionary definition. So listen up, Top Gooners. This is the dictionary definition of what trust the process stands for. It's a coping mechanism for losing. That is what it stands for. That's what it is. So when we fail to win the cup, or we fail to win the league, or we fail to win a European title, they'll just continue to say, keep trusting the process as always next year. There are teams that have done this in the past across all different sports. They all have one thing in common. They haven't gone on to win a major. They haven't gone on to win a respective championship in their sport. This is why this kind of method does not work. Now, if we do win the Champions League, I'll hold my hands up and say, I got this horribly wrong. This will get clipped as well, by the way. But at the end of the day, we want what's best for the team. We want what's best for this football club, and that is just to have sustained success. Nearly screwed that up.
Yeah. A few S's there. Don't worry.
And you know, we went on a 9-year drought under Wenger, and that was bad enough. Okay, but then he won a few FA Cups and then he prolonged it. He should have really after 2014 when he beat Hull City. That should have been his swan song to go off into the sunset. And guess what? We got to give him the statue, get a standing ovation, the final game of the Premier League season. And guess what? All done and dusted. Thank you. Now we need to move into the modern era. We didn't do that, and it hurt us. Let's be real. Yeah. The last 5 years before Unai Emery came in, those 5 years hurt us. The FA Cup, it was great. But it also hurt us in the long run. And we're still sort of fighting. We're still sort of fighting through it right now. So, listen, at the end of the day, get the job done. That's all we ask for you now.
See, people shouldn't be mentioning statues and Arteta until he's won, say, 5 trophies in 5 seasons or something.
That's the thing enrages me. That enrages me.
I mean, George Graham ain't even got one.
George Graham has to get one, right? Yeah. And on top of that, right? Can you imagine if Chelsea builds a Roberto Di Matteo statue? We would laugh our arse off at them if they built a Roberto.
That's such a good point.
But do you know what I mean? We would laugh our fucking arse off them if they built a Roberto Di Matteo statue.
Why haven't they built a statue of Thomas Tuchel outside their stadium? Because he won the Champions League with them.
Yeah, but he gave them their first, right? Di Matteo gave them their first. You know what I mean? So Arteta would give us our first. And what? We're going to build him a statue? George Graham needs a fucking statue long before that guy. I mean, we would laugh our arse off if Chelsea built one. They wouldn't even dream of it. Because the legacy is different, man. You build a legacy over time. That's why we have Herbert Chapman and Wenger and Tony Adams and Bergkamp and Henry and these guys, because they built a legacy, man. A legacy isn't 5 years of absolute garbage and then stumbling upon the Champions League. I'm sorry, man. This statue thing, it's not for me. It's not for me. I know people saying, oh, yeah, build him a statue. No, sorry, man. There's no way I'm building that guy a statue. Unless he wins like Champions League a couple of times and this completely changes. I mean,
Bertie Mee deserves
30
that
Me,
too.
there we go. 30 Me deserves one as well. Long before this guy, man. Long
Yeah.
before this guy.
Yeah, we were winning.
It's not just about delivering a few trophies, is it? Well, a statue is when you've done something
legacy, man.
monumental, like
It's a
Tony
legacy,
Adams.
yeah.
3 Premier Leagues in 3 decades.
89,
21.
98, 22.
There's the justification.
2002, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, these
Henri,
guys
top
think, though,
scorer.
Yeah.
Bergkamp
Yeah.
changed the face of the club.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Was-
Herbert Chapman.
Yeah, mate,
Oh, it's all
these
there.
guys honestly think that we've only been challenging for league titles in 22, 23 and 23, 24. We've been challenging for league titles pretty much. I mean, since the early 30s when we actually won our first one in 1931, and then we didn't win it in 1932, and then we won it in 33, and we won it in 34, and we won it in 35. A cheeky little three-peat, yeah. Then we won it in 38. Then we won it in 48. Then we won it in 53. Then we won it in 71. Then we won it in 89. Then we won it in 91. Then we won it in 98. Then 02. Then 04. And what are we doing here?
And with 30 Me, and
We've
just
been challenging forever. Like,
30 Me was 4
They
years.
won in them
Sorry,
periods.
Aaron.
Go on, sorry. Go on. No.
Yeah, sorry. Bertie Mee was 4 years without a trophy, and the pressure was on him, even at a time when managers didn't get sacked, right?
Yeah.
And then he did the double, right? So his
Yeah.
phase 5, he did the double, mate. All right, if there wasn't phases then. 4 years later, when the team started to get picked apart and all the good players were leaving, he offered his resignation because he wanted what was best for the club. It wasn't an ego thing. He didn't go, "Oh no, I'll just keep whipping the dead horse because it's all about me." He went, "Listen, I've taken this team as far as I can. I love Arsenal. I love the Arsenal. I'm going to step aside and let someone else come in." Can you imagine Arteta doing the same thing?
And also, probably,
he won't even do it when he's won them.
Well, and also probably at the same time, Shane, as back then, okay, money wasn't such a thing back then,
No.
back in them days as well. The fans will actually have their say on what they wanted. The reason why Bertie Mee probably didn't stay there because of ego was because if they probably have no wheels left on this fucking car. That's probably why. So
He just wanted what was best for the club, man. You know, which
Yeah.
doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. These managers don't want what's best for the club. They want what's best for them. It's their legacy, not the club's legacy.
And whether they're right or not. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? And guess what? That's exactly what Mikel Arteta's like, narcissistic. It's almost like a shock. Like the fans that are absolutely in love with Mikel Arteta behave like him. That's quite a funny little thing, isn't it, really? Do you know what I mean? They're all narcissistic. It's all about being right. Mimi. That's why we should start calling them Mimis.
Mikel.
Mikel, isn't it?
Mikel.
Little Mimis, little Mimi Kel. Mikel. We've got a little cheeky super in from Napster. I'm sure I sent you a link at the beginning, man. If I didn't, let me know. I'm sure I sent you a link. But I know, as you say, my friend, you operate. Is it on a Jamaican time? He always says so. He's always a little bit late. But Napster, big up to you, my absolute brother, man. If anyone knows as well, Napster's just started going live, so make sure you go over there and follow him. He's saying big up, Aaron, and the rest of the panel. Big up to you, man, and I'm double glad you started going live now, my friend. You are an absolute fridge freezer, and if you are, like I said, if you want to come on, I'm sure I sent you the link. If not, then apologies. Do Instagram me, and we'll sort it out. We'll put the link out in the chat very soon. I just want to keep the flow of this just at the minute, and then when we move on, we'll put the link out. So I apologise if anyone is actually sort of waiting to get on. What I did want to say as well is, friend is one of my best mates, Craig Overton. Friend. He's saying Odegaard needs to be dropped, and trust me, bruv, sorry, Craig, but this geezer can be a bit of a top gooner, but he can't be at the same time. He's coming round now, I believe. He's coming round. He's going to text me and go, "Fuck off, you prick." Now, Odegaard needs to be dropped. So he can talk sense. Play with 10 men. Yeah, on the field we do. We beat Real Madrid with 10 men, Craig. But Arteta won't drop his little love child. He does my head in. Yeah, see, they're coming round, everyone. They are finally coming round. And Craig, big up to you. Big up to you, Mrs. Shove, man. Love you always. And obviously the boys, Ronnie and Colin, man. You know I love you both to bits, man. Big up, man. I'm just going to run through a couple of these chats. We got Ryan Stockley in the building. How you doing, brother? Always a pleasure. Peppermint, I didn't say hello to you earlier. The chat's been fucking absolutely lit. Absolute world class. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Not only to me, smash the likes on this video, but all of these guys' links are pinned in the description. And anyone else that comes on, I will make sure I add theirs already. So make sure you spread that love out, people. Nathan is a geezer. I met him over on the Ludagooners. He's an absolute fridge freezer. How you doing, brother? Lou fan, how you doing, my man? Always an absolute pleasure. Dre, how you doing, brother? Always a pleasure. You know that. Static, you've got that you've got the spanner back now there, my man. I don't know why it keeps doing it to you, man.
He's been on. You need to pay him. He's on overtime today.
Yeah, he is,
top
man.
units out.
Lawrence, I will be putting it in very, 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 very soon. And my man Dara, smoked you rather. Well, I'm smoking something what he's smoking, and trust me, I've walked to him for the stadium, and it's too strong what he smokes. So I have to I have to literally check what way the wind's blowing, so I stand away from him. He's my man, and he's saying, yeah, smash up them likes and hit that subscribe button, my man. And my Chelsea brother, yeah, we're big up Aaron in the panel always, yeah, on the Cobras tonight whilst listening. You know what? I'm always on the old cheeky Stellas. And I'll tell you what I'll do on screen. I'll say it now. If Arsenal win the Champions League, well, I'll do it. I'll be in Germany, so maybe I'll get a little German beer one. I'll do the old Stone Cold Steve Austin smash straight down the old gullet. That's what I'll do, mate. I'll give it the old crack, and straight down.
I think a lot of us will be doing that.
Yeah. Hold me to it. I'll definitely do it, mate. I'm looking forward to doing it. I'll send it to my missus. Yeah, that's it. I will 100% like that. I'll even play the music in the background, but I'll only have to do it once because I will get copyrighted. So then I'll have to delete it. So I'll do a live stream and do it because it's just a little bit of fun, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna start off with I want to come back to Odegaard now because we've all sort of been around the houses of sorry. Cole, and I'll come to you in with this. Odegaard, really sorry that we criticise him. Is he gonna drop him? Do you reckon in the game on the weekend, or do you reckon he should start him and then drop him for the PSG game? What do you reckon? Because something's got to happen here, bruv. The geezer cannot carry on stinking the building out.
I'll put it this way, mate. I've got more chance getting a date with Scarlett Johansson than Odegaard has of being dropped by Arteta. Let's put it that way.
Don't worry, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up.
No, that's listen. Odegaard's not getting
man. He gave me a go, Hunter.
Oh, that was Scarlett Johansson, the local bike brandy. Oh, sorry, I thought you was on about someone else. Sorry about that.
You don't play again.
That's a good old Scarlett. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, if you're ever alone at night, just give old Scarlett. Yeah.
No, listen,
you're available, love.
Listen, back on topic. Odegaard is not getting dropped. Let's be real. He ain't getting dropped. He's Arteta's puppet. He's his freaking. He's his favorite. Arteta's got all his favorite. He's got all his toys in this toy box of his. And he always keeps bringing out the same ones all the time. Odegaard is the first one he keeps bringing out all the time.
Yeah.
Keeps playing with it all the time. The likes of Kieran Tierney, stuck at the bottom of the box. Likes that 22-year-old stuck at the bottom of the box. It's just, he ain't going to get dropped. He's just not. The problem is he is someone actually tried to defend him. I think there was a chat in Gunstream a couple of nights ago, basically saying you do realize that Odegaard made the goal for the first one, right? I basically turned around and said, what, the pre-cum assist? Yeah. It was Marino. It was Marino that put the ball through to Saka. That's a ball that Odegaard can't do. The second one, especially, is a ball that Odegaard won't be able to put that one through. He won't. He simply won't. Right?
Too many touches.
The only thing, listen. I don't wish ill on any player. But if an Ipswich Town player could just literally 2-foot Odegaard and take him out for the rest of the season, we could have even a Wemmy in the 10. That'll be absolutely bliss. Sorry, but that sounds so vindictive of me. But I'm sorry, but this guy's just not. He's not a captain. The position he plays him is not. I don't think the position plays he's suited to him. I don't have a position to play. I generally think he should be playing in if you play a 4-2-3-1, he should be playing alongside the defensive midfield partnership. Because he's an 8. He doesn't pass the ball forward, does he? It's always sideways or backwards, or to the left, or as Lee Gunner would say, to the left. Just what he did. He kept passing to the left or passing it backwards. He doesn't pass to Saka, and I don't understand why. Because apparently they said, "Oh yeah, but he can't perform without Bukayo Saka." Well, Saka's come back into the team and Odegaard's still done jack and shit. So look, he ain't getting dropped, unfortunately. We just have to stick it out what it is. But the only thing we can hope for is he goes down with a minor knock or a or a small virus, something along those lines. But That's wishful thinking.
Yeah. Now, facts. We've got two new guests here as well. You'll be familiar with them. We've got Levante and Lawrence in the building. How are you guys doing, man?
Yeah, okay. How are you?
Fine,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
What do you think of what we've been saying? I'll start. Devontae, have you been? I don't know how long you've been listening for. What
I've been here from the start, from jump.
Yeah. That's cool. What do you reckon? Jump on. Have you say? Start it off. Say whatever you bloody well want, my man. Thank you very much for coming on as well, by the way.
No problem, man. It's been a long time,
Yeah.
Big up everybody, man. Big up the chat. It's funny that they I don't know why they ask y'all to apologize, man. Like are these people like kids, like, oh, say sorry now, say sorry. Like, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. But listen, man, as much as I love that we beat Real Madrid, they're the defending champs of the Champions League. We gave them a beating of a lifetime, especially after doing all that talking the whole week. I felt like that's what they deserved. All that talk about, oh yeah, we coming back. I loved it. But that doesn't mean that the job is finished. Like, it's cool that you beat Real Madrid. It's cool. It's sort of an achievement, I would say, but not fully, because you still have to like play PSG, and then if you do that round, then you have to play Barcelona or Inter. So the job is not finished. You know what I'm saying? Like, it reminds me of, as an Ajax fan, when we beat Real Madrid in 2019, right? And then we went to the semifinals. I mean, after also being Juventus, facing Spurs. At the end of the day, we lost it. So people like, they're not going to talk about it as much as we should, because we lost it. And I don't like to talk about the game at all, because it still hurts me that we lost in the dying seconds of that game, bro. I really don't like to talk about that game. So it doesn't really mean much. You beat Madrid. Okay, now what? Because PSG, people say, oh yeah, we beat PSG in the first, like in the group phase, right? But PSG is in form. They are in form right now. They're playing very much better than they played months ago when we played them in October or November, something like that, right? They're playing much better. As with Dembele in the false nine, they got Kvaratskhelia in the winter. So they got some pieces now, and they got some players that they got some great dribblers and stuff. Like, they get people that can create. We don't have those creators, Like, right. That's also what people forget, that we don't have the creators. The so-called creative spark is not creating. As a matter of fact, he's Ghost the guard. Ghost. All he does is spinning around, bro. Like, he better off like working for a Ferris wheel, since he
spin me right round, baby, right round.
He's the guys on the foosball table, man.
He should be doing that, man. Like, come on, man. Like, that's supposed to be our creative spark. The guy that's actually been more creative than him is Merino. I've seen more from Merino than I've seen from Odegaard. We've seen the game against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. The goals came from him. He's more creative, and I have my sayings about Merino. I still don't rate him as much, but as a false nine, he does so much better than Havertz. Let's be honest. Havertz is just an airhead, first class. There's a reason why I call him JaVale McGee, because he's stupid. Meanwhile, Merino is more cerebral, more smarter, I would say. Not saying that he's a striker, but he's smarter. He knows what he's doing. Like, his passing is much better, physicality is much better, and he's scoring goals here and there. That's what you need, So I'm happy with Merino as a false nine. That doesn't mean that we still need don't need a striker and some players to really like fill the gaps, right? Like a backup for Saka, a left winger that's much better than Martinelli, right? So it like, for people ask, oh, apologize. You'll get an apology, maybe, if we win the Champions League, right? Because I'll be sick to death if we don't win the Champions League and I see Spurs winning the Europa League, bro. People gonna say it's not gonna happen, but they're facing Bodo Glimt, bro. The same Bodo Glimt that my Ajax faced last season, and we won there. We won from Bodo Glimt. So what does that to say about the worst Ajax of all time beating Bodo Glimt? That people gonna say, oh yeah, but they're gonna do Spursy. I'm not sure about that, bro. I'm not sure about it. The thing with Spurs is they're relentless. They're always trying to score a goal, no matter how bad they are. They're always trying to like go score a goal. That's what makes Spurs so annoying to play because they just don't know when to quit. They just want to score a goal. So I'll be sick to death if this manager doesn't get it over the line. I hope he learned. I hope that he learned from all the times that he fumbled the league, fumbled the Europa League, fumbled the Champions League, that he can finally do something against the big dogs, right? Paris Saint-Germain, and then whoever's in the final, Barcelona. People gonna say, "I we rather want to play Barcelona." Listen, man, don't underestimate nobody in the Champions League. Don't underestimate nobody. PSG is tough. PSG, so we play party without party in the first leg. In the first leg, we play without party. So who's gonna be like the DM, the 6? Rice, absolutely. I don't want Rice there. Rice is doing much better as an 8 right now. So keep him there. Figure that out. And then and then whoever you play in the final, Barcelona are just like Spurs. They're just trying to go score a goal. They're gonna keep going back and forth. They're gonna keep going. They're the Energizer Bunnies. And Inter are the toughest, I would say, because they already figured us out in the group stages, right? In the group stages. The thing with Inter is you cannot dark art Inter because they just play the same. They're just more tactical, more smarter than us.
Yeah.
But whoever you face, beat them, and then you'll maybe get an apology. But even then, it's not about apologies. Everybody on this panel, everybody in the chat wants what's best for Arsenal, first of all. So who cares about an apology? We all want to celebrate. We all want to be over the moon, seeing Arsenal for the first time in their history lift up a Champions League trophy, bro. I don't have to brag about Champions because my club, Ajax, got 4 already. So it's like, okay, yeah. But Arsenal, I'll be over the moon if they finally lift up a Champions League. They so much deserve. They so much deserve that, bro. And of course, you have to earn it. But Arsenal, 2006, most of us were heartbroken or just fucked up that Thierry Henry could not get us a Champions League or Sol Campbell, Fabregas, they could not get us a Champions League because they faced Ronaldinho's Barcelona and all that stuff, and they just were unlucky, right? You only get a chance one time, but now you have another opportunity, I would say. But first, beat PSG. Because I've said it over the last few days. Don't underestimate them, please. Don't do oh yeah, we beat them before. Please don't do that, bro. Because then you'll find yourself chasing PSG. You'll find yourself chasing them. And trust me, they'll give it to you. They'll give it to you. That doesn't mean that they're not beatable, because they are beatable, but stay focused. Stay focused on the task. I said on the chat, like Kobe Bryant said, I'm a Lakers fan, bro. The job is not finished. So what's there to be happy about? What's there to be happy about? We beat Real Madrid. Okay, yeah, cool. That be happy for that moment. But we're in the new day, brand new day, right?
We still have
bro. 3 more matches to go. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I say. Just, mate, you clearly get it. This is why it's such a pleasure when I have fans like all of you for a start. But do you know what I mean? And just being able to listen, it just brings me back to just, there are some sane people out there in this world. Thank God it's not just me. We'll go, just before I come to Lawrence, then we'll go Macy, then AK. Big up as well for jumping on AK. And of course, everyone. I did want to jump in and say hello to Mama Flossie. I've said hello to you already, but big up. Not only is this absolute superstar of a woman, not is this absolute legend of the woman was my first ever subscriber. Not only was this legend of a woman my first ever mod and only chief mod, she is now my very first member. So, Mama Flossie, you're holding all the records. You've supported me from the start. I absolutely love you to pieces, my girl. Thank you very much. And big up to you. Away the lads.
Aaron, before you jump on with Lawrence quickly, I want you to listen to something, okay? This is on my watch along. This is how I truly think about Odegaard, okay? Bear me a minute.
Molino, that's a lovely flick. Now Odegaard, if he gets his pass off to Martinelli, he might be... Oh, yeah, fucking it him! Oh, my God, this guy is so crap!
If that's not to say I hate Odegaard. I don't know what will, but there we go. Carry
That
on.
was
Yeah,
almost
but
a
it's
Jonathan
Sounded like
Pierce.
you're a
I
fan,
was
to
being
be
said in a
fair.
million households, man, at the time.
That was almost a Jonathan Pierce in the 80s.
I was very happy that my child was not in the house that night. So
Yeah. Oh man, that is funny, man. Lawrence, my LA geezer. I know you're originally from Cockfosters. I know you are an absolute legend. Thank you very much for coming here, man. What are we saying, my brother?
Yeah, pretty much the same. You know, yeah, facing reality. You know, I was over the moon about Wednesday and yesterday. I had to keep pinching myself because I kept thinking it was a dream. I mean, if anyone had told me beforehand we'd go to the Bernabeu and play them off the park and beat them 2-1, I'd have bitten your hand off, you know. But at the end of the day, we haven't won anything. We haven't won a trophy. We've just got to the next round. And in the next round, we're facing another beast in PSG, who are not the same team that we faced back in October. And when I see some of the comments that I've seen on Facebook and Twitter about, oh, it's done and dusted, that we're on our way to Germany.
Done and dusted.
Done it really? Wow.
You know, give us the trophy. You know, it's beyond a joke. You know,
Lawrence,
I mean,
when you see this, can you screenshot and send it to me on thingy? When you see people writing this on Twitter,
oh, yeah,
next
I
time you see
mean,
them, screenshot them
yeah,
over because
I mean, it's just,
I'm doing something.
you know,
on
I
that,
mean,
don't worry.
you know, this just proves that the mentality of our fan base. I'm not saying every Arsenal fan thinks the same way, but all these deluded plastic AKB ostriches, as I call them, I know you call them top gooners. I don't see anything top about them myself, right? They are basically, they are like alcoholics, you know, that are in denial. They cannot admit there's a problem, but deep down they know there is a problem. Okay, and the problem is them because they live in their fantasy world. They wear their Arteta tinted specs. They can't see the wood from the trees, no matter what. They won't have a bad word said against this manager, even though he's got no previous managerial experience behind him. You know, and I feel we've been fortunate to get this far in the Champions League. You know, the opposition we've faced. I mean, the only real tough opposition we faced leading up to where we are now in the Champions League is Real Madrid and Inter Milan. But going back to the point about having a statue erected for Mikel Arteta, do me a fucking favour. How about a statue for David Rocastle? How about a statue for Charlie George? How about a statue for Bertie Mee? How about a statue for Liam Brady? Those people deserve a statue more than this Spanish clown. I'm just tired of hearing the same shit over and over again. I watched you on Lee Gunner's podcast yesterday when that dickhead Egal was spewing his shit as per normal, as per usual. I mean, I don't know where this guy gets off. I mean, I think he's a wind-up merchant. I do not believe anyone is that deluded when it comes to Arsenal. I mean, I seriously think he's doing it for clicks. But some of the shit he was coming out with yesterday is beyond a joke. As I said, I've had to put my I told you so speech on hold until the beginning of May because of what we did the other night. I had it all
Not
primed
on hold
and
with
ready.
your apology speech, is it?
Yeah, my apology speech as well. You know, but as I said, we've got 2 meaningless games against Ipswich and Palace before we come up against PSG. And like the guy before me said, we're going to be missing Partey. So who are we going to put in his spot? I mean, are we going to put Marino back in midfield and bring in Sterling or Trossard to play up front in the middle, or possibly put Trossard on the wing and switch Martinelli into the middle? I mean, do we bring Lewis Skelly into midfield and put Tierney at left back?
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting to find out what Arteta does for that first leg, because that's the most important game for us now. As I said, I'm worried about the side he's going to select for Sunday at Ipswich and Wednesday against Palace, because again he's got to wrap players in cotton wool so they don't get injured.
Yeah. So
it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few days.
Yeah, no, facts, man. Facts, 100% facts. That's it. They forget about all these other people that need their recognition in Arsenal's history, and you label pretty much every single one of them. So that's facts, mate. Macy, what we'll do is we'll come to you now, then we'll obviously go to AK. Then I'm going to bring up something about the PSV game and a few little bits. It'd just be free-for-all mode, yeah? We all talk, because we can't keep just going around, otherwise people waiting. Let's just have all the conversation. But first, Macy, come on, man. What did Roman Reigns get up to today?
No,
you always start off with a WWF. I love it.
There's something like I've got a story to share with every one of you here tonight.
My friend. Thank you very much for coming on, by the way.
I was watching a WWE event. I was watching Cody Rhodes and The Rock face to face, and The Rock said something to Cody. He said, "Cody, I want your soul. I want you to be my champion. I will give you all the fame, all the money, and all the main event to you." And you know what Cody said? Cody told The Rock to fuck himself, because Cody is a champion of the people, because the people made him who he is as a person. You guys made me who I am as a person, because I have facts for this football club. And any of you top gunners say that, "Oh, where's your apologies? We beat Real Madrid." Cool, we beat Real Madrid. But can we win the Champions League? It's a simple if, because PSG this season, they have not lost a game apart from Aston Villa when they lost 3-2. But PSG, I've seen how they play in their league, and they are absolutely incredible. The players they've got and the manager they have, Luis Enrique, this guy has got a Champions League experience because he won that competition with Barcelona when he assembled Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. This Luis Enrique, for me, is a decent manager, and I believe that we could be in for a big surprise on the 29th of April. So, yeah, we beat Real Madrid, but the reason we beat Real Madrid is because Ancelotti didn't really care that much, because all he cared about, he just wanted to just get his season over with so he can leave Madrid and get the Brazil job. So, we should be beating Real Madrid, because Ivan Gazidis said 4 years ago that we moved to the Emirates Stadium to compete with Real Madrid. And fast forward, we beat Real Madrid. So
catalyst for change.
Yeah. So Declan Rice, for me, at the 8, this is his best position, because I do not want to see him at the 6, because if he's at the 6, he will get absolutely cooked up there. He should remain himself in the 8, because when he's at the 8, he plays with lots of intensity. Now, Thomas Partey, that is going to miss the leg against PSG. The first leg is a huge miss for us, but we just don't know who's going to cover Partey's position, because we still need to know if Jorginho, who personally I don't rate at this football club, he's slow, he cannot run properly. So our option now is to just start Jorginho, because
he's injured.
The other midfielder, we don't have any fast midfielder, or we could put Mikel Moreno in midfield with Declan Rice, because Moreno is a midfielder, so we have no other choice. But this Champions League will decide whether or not this manager can do it. I hope he wins that Champions League, but I'm not gonna like say, oh Arteta, we believe in you. Not like this. He has to prove to us that he can do it. Because if he just wants to say, oh, I'm the best looking manager in the whole world, prove it then, mate. Win that Champions League, and all of us will give you the praise that you deserve. We'll give you the adulation and the respect that you got us that Champions League. But until then, prove to us that you could win that Champions League. And let's not forget, we've got 2 Premier League games coming up. We've got Ipswich on Sunday, and Ipswich is a very tricky game because Ipswich are fighting for their lives. They're trying to stay in the Premier League. So we should not underestimate them. And Crystal Palace too, because Crystal Palace have got a decent manager in Oliver Glasner, and their squad is far more like gluey than our squad. So we have to get those 2 games out of the way so that we could be prepared for the biggest ultimate test in our history, to face PSG one-on-one for the second time. And PSG, for me, like, I've seen their players. Ousmane Dembele is on the form of his life. He's scoring goals. He's running roughshod on the whole French league. Kvaratskhelia, that Georgian guy, he is absolutely elite. Leaving Napoli to come to PSG was a good idea for him. And look, he's scoring goals for fun. He is absolutely running ranks on that front line. And on the left, they've got Bradley Bukola and Desire Douar, 2 teenage youngsters who are very clinical in the counter-attack. So we should not underestimate PSG. They've got a far better midfield than we have. They've got Vitinha and they've got Fabian Ruiz. And Vitinha is somebody that Northside, I believe, watches the Portuguese league because he's seen what Vitinha did there before he came to PSG. Fabian Ruiz, top baller when he was at Napoli. Now he's at PSG. So let's not underestimate Paris Saint-Germain. They have dominated the French league. They were at the Champions League final at one point. So they have what it takes to get there. But we have to we should not underestimate them, because because we do not want to say, we beat PSG before, because the fact that the reason we beat PSG in October is because Thomas Partey was playing. But now that he's not playing in the first leg, that is a huge worry for us. Can we beat PSG? Let's see, because I'm not confident, because PSG, for me, they're gonna absolutely walk past our team and find some way to give us a bit of a shock. And the final, Barcelona and Inter, that is the biggest worry, because both Barcelona and Inter Milan are absolutely the best football clubs, because Inter Milan won the Champions League in 2010, and Barcelona haven't won the Champions League since that season when Enrique was in charge. So them two, all 3 of these football clubs have lots of history because they've won their own titles in their own leagues. So we have to win this Champions League, because if this manager bottles it, then there's nothing. We have to sack him immediately. We need to get this season done with, get him gone. And Andre Berta, I implore you, mate, go and get Diego Simeone, because for me, Simeone can get the best out of this team, because this manager has absolutely downgraded this football club with his attitude, the fact that he's more popular than all the other managers around him, and the fact that all these top gooners are showing their obsessive love towards him. It has to stop now. Because
the thing, we were discussing that we've never seen a manager ever in history get that sort of praise and that following when he's won nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've never seen it before. It's
100%,
insanity.
Shane,
And
like,
I know you're going to
yeah,
pass it on to poor Pete now
consistent
because he's
outcomes
been
as
waiting,
well.
but a lot of people are talking about Rice, that the Real Madrid game has shown that he can play in the 8. But in those 2 Madrid games, that was more of a double pivot, to be fair. His starting position was more of a 6 alongside another 6, which is why he was box to box. You know what I mean? So they're saying that he did well in the left 8.
And
I think it's more because he was pulled
the
back
thing
into
is,
the double pivot is what
Shane,
makes him. That
the
time
thing
with
is-
England when he had sorry, go on, Macy.
I know, Shane. I get it that he played a kind of like formation against Real Madrid. But the thing is, Real Madrid didn't even try to test us, because the only time they did was in the beginning of the first half when Mbappe was this close to scoring, and the one goal that they scored was from Vinicius Junior, who I believe didn't do nothing. Like, he didn't
Yeah, it
do
was one
nothing.
mistake. It was one mistake that did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
The
didn't
thing-
do
the
anything
thing
without
that-
our mistake. Yeah.
The thing that worries me about Arteta, right? We haven't got Partey for this game. What worries me about Arteta, he's so arrogant. He thinks he's going to do something spectacular and have an experiment or do something and play someone in a freak new role that they've never played before. And then we'll go and get turned over by PSG.
What Guardiola used to do in big games, he'd make some
Yeah.
ridiculous decision.
Well,
and
do you
then
remember
it
he
wouldn't pay
benched
off.
Rodri, didn't he, for the Champions League final?
Yeah,
What's that
unbelievable.
all about?
And he played
Trying to-
Philip
trying
Lam
to
as a
look like a
6
genius.
at Bayern and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's madness. Just quickly as well, before I bring, because AK's been waiting there patiently, and then we'll just go for free for all settings, yeah? What I have to say to this, chat, you have been fucking unbelievable, yeah? From the second I clicked that live button, we had 50 waiting. Thank you very much to Lou Laguna for the redirect, by the way, you absolute legend. We've peaked at 124 in this stream. We've been averaging pretty much around the 90s. We've still got 70 odd in the building here. Man, constantly throughout this whole time, you've all been locked in. I just want to say thanks, bruv. All of you, every single one of you. We got legends in the building. We got new people in the building. We got faces I see sort of here and there. Always. We are just 7 geezers talking a load of shit about football without you lot here watching us, man. And that is exactly why we do it. We want to give you the content. And if you could, world-class chat, Pele of a chat, Maradona of a chat, Zinedine Zidane of a chat. If you could smash that like and subscribe. And also, my panels, the world-class panels, links are in my description. You could just have a cheeky little follow of them and all. It'd make my Easter Friday. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, AK, you've been waiting there. Double, treble, quad, patient, my brother. What you saying, man? You look double chill there, a bit Rodri in the background. What we saying, brother? Mute, my friend. Mute, geezer. He's so chill, he's on mute, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Here he is.
Oh, yeah, first of all, big up the panel. Big up gents in the panel. Big up the chat, everyone. Hope you're all having a good Friday. And yeah, I've got a background dedicated to Crybaby Vinicius. One sec.
He loves it, doesn't he? Where's that? There's been a load of things about Vinicius, anyway, with the Declan Rice thing I've seen.
Yeah, a rice bottle feeding him in that, which is
yeah.
smart.
Love it, AK, man. Come on, man. What we saying, brother?
Oh yeah, what we're saying. First of all, I have to thank Arsenal for humbling Madrid. You know why? Because these guys, yeah, they are the most cringiest fan base in world football.
Oh, 100%. I can't argue about
They
that.
are the most cringiest fan base in the entire. I mean, and Aaron, you won't believe it. Certain Real Madrid fans abroad were just gassing up this fixture, saying that, "Come to the Bernabeu. Come to the Bernabeu. We are gonna cook you." But guess what? Rice got cooked. I'm sorry. I mean, the Bernabeu was cooked with rice.
Yeah. You've had more Nelson Mandela than I have, haven't you, son? That's what's going on. Go on, there, boy. Yeah, mate. Yeah, no. Oh, Rice cooked in there, didn't he, brother? Spectacular performance.
Oh yeah, he cooked. He cooked again, and of course Saka with that cheeky little chip over Courtois. That was class. That was class. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was good, man. Like that's what I'm saying. You know, you got to give credit when credit's due, and like that's what I think us Arsenal fans have done. All you know, like Thursday today, we've sort of all noticed, my friend, everyone in the panel, world class chat. We've all acknowledged that it was great. Listen, we all call on this panel. I can definitely call for this panel because I've got a relationship of sorts with them. Yeah, we call shit out when we see shit. We call praise out when we see good. Do you know what I mean? It's not difficult. And that's how we sort of all operate, you know? I believe, for me, and I believe I probably speak for everyone here, it would be unauthentic for me to just like have my opinions and just mask over problems. I call it as I see it. If I see that there's a weak link, i.e. Martin Odegaard, I will say it. That's not me going, yeah, Arsenal were fucking shit against Madrid. That Martin Odegaard. No. That's what all you lot are hearing. That's what all you lot are hearing. You've not listened to me waxing lyrical about Arsenal all week. Well, especially since Wednesday. All you can hear is, yeah, Odegaard's, yeah. He was. And then you get the counter argument, and then it's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, how can you criticize someone when it was a good match? It's just called a bit of criticism, you know. I spent 5 minutes talking about 10 good things and about 10 seconds talking about one bad thing. And then you pick up the 10 seconds of the thing that I said about that's negative. And then you call me the negative one. How mad is that? How mad is that? That like you call me negative when you won't pick out the only negative thing that I said out of 10. And you pick that out. It just makes me laugh. I can't really get into the brain of these geezers. And do you know what? I'm bloody glad I can't. I can't understand the way these lot think. And I'm bloody grateful. Do you know what I mean? Obviously,
you know what, Aaron? Don't waste your time and energy on such people because apparently they have not watched the game with their own two eyes. Yeah, they basically just watch through reels. They watch through reels.
Yeah. No. 100%,
They're all
man.
TikTok fans. TikTok fans. That's what I call them.
Top bitches. Top donut.
Exactly.
Top delusion. Top morons. Top. What are we doing here?
And
guess what?
you know what? And you know what, Aaron?
Go on, my brother. Go on, mate.
Yeah. No. I mean, I know this is an Arsenal channel, but
you're all good.
I'm gonna cook Madrid for a bit. You know why? Because these men have been spewing absolute nonsense, crying like crying like babies about, ooh, Rodri stole the Ballon d'Or. Oh, Vinny deserved it. Well, you know what? This is for you, Lord. Yeah, hold that. He's your daddy. He's your daddy. Hold that, you crybabies.
Who's your daddy, and what does he do? So instead of reminding me of the old Arnold Schwarzenegger film, what's it? Kindergarten. Who's your daddy? What does he do?
Got in the car.
Yeah, guys, listen. Free for all mode.
And
who wants to jump in? Say whatever the fuck you want.
And of course, certain and of course these TikTok Madrid fans here. Oh, every time I watch them on Instagram, it's like, here we go again with the cringiest shit that they're putting out on reels. That, oh, Camavinga, oh, Kylian Mbappe, oh.
What we doing?
The Arsenal fans do that for Odegaard too. The top gooners. They live offshore. The Arsenal fans, they get an Odegaard doing a little pirouette. They slow it down, and they put in some opera music, and they go, oh, look at this beauty on the pitch. You know, what a good player. What about the other 90 odd minutes when he did absolutely fucking nothing, when he kept passing the ball backwards or passing it to the left? You know, that's the problem with the modern day. They don't sit down and watch a whole match. You know what I mean? They don't, like I said before, I used to have like VHSs of World Cup finals, 86 and stuff like that. And because I only, like, I had a collection of them, and I couldn't just go on the internet. I had to watch them over and over again. You know what I mean? So you get to know, you get the nuances and the ins and outs and stuff like that. So they just put up these little clips, and it does look beautiful. Odegaard slowed down, doing a little spin. But what happened after, mate? He shat his pants. You know what I mean? And that's what they show, and they show it over and over again. And that's the thing. Like, you know, it bothers me because if you sat down and watched them for 90 minutes, and just concentrate on, even my missus, who I always call the top gooner, I saw her cringing when he was coming off the bench.
Big up,
Brentford.
Miss Shane. Big up, Miss Shane.
Yeah, man, big up now. She's starting to change from being a top gooner. You know what I mean? She only had to get one black eye. No, I'm joking. But I'm joking. And domestic abuse is disgusting, and I've never done it. And kids, stay away from it. It's awful.
Mate, my missus got a subscription to Ray-Ban. Do you know what I mean? When she said, "I'm bringing out line," yeah. Only joking. Yeah, of course she hasn't. I don't pay him for that. She pays for it. Only joking again.
Even she's turning on Odegaard, and I think a lot of the top gooners are. I think a lot of the top gooners are turning on him now. He's not good enough. And Carl was saying about him getting injured. Arteta still wouldn't play Nwaneri. He spent the whole game against Brentford bollocking him for not tracking back. He's going to loan him out soon. I think DJB said that he's going to loan him out soon, and he'll end up leaving in 2 years if Arteta's still here, because Arteta does not know how to get the best out of a genius number 10 like that. He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to say to him, look, track back when we're in trouble, but otherwise you reserve your energy for when we play forward. He does not have it. It's track back first, and then express yourself second.
Yeah, and you're wondering why, since that 2 seasons ago, when I put this up, have a look at the stats again, just very quickly. Look at the season 2 seasons ago when we was expressing ourselves, when it hadn't been coached out of them yet. Goals, 77. Do you know what I mean? And then it just regresses all the way down to 57 this year. What Shane's saying here is backed it up by absolute facts. Now they've lost all their expression. They can't do it anymore. They've got to track back before they go and defend. And look, we're only conceding a couple less goals, but we're scoring significantly less. And do you know what? Unfortunately, it turns out we're not doing any better in the league either. It's got to change things up. I would say change the manager. But he's going to be here still next season, unfortunately. Sadly, he needs to change something, doesn't he, boys? Who's going to jump in? Can you see Mikel Arteta changing his ways?
Yeah, just before I go, Aaron, I've got to go at 10:30. What I would say is, if Arteta don't win this Champions League this season, more evidence for us to say, well, there you go, he's not won anything again. It's time for him to go. And having been so near it, having had so much money, it's more evidence of a failure, isn't it? So something nice is going to happen to us Arsenal fans. Either we're going to win the Champions League, and that'll be nice, and we'll be able to remember it. I'll never give Arteta too much credit because I don't like the bloke personally. Or he won't win it, and then it's then down to us to do our job to say, off you go, Mikel. On that note, Darren Sullivan, 49 on Insta. Been a great chat. Thanks for having us on. Great panel, great chat. Nice one, Aaron. And see you again.
It's been my absolute pleasure that you've given me 2 hours of your time, Darren. I always enjoy you coming on. Thank you very, very, very much.
Cheers. Thanks, bye.
Have a lovely weekend, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, man, that was Darren. I will get his link in. I forgot he likes his thing shared on Instagram. I never remember sometimes with Instagram people whether they like keeping it personal or not. I will get Darren's Instagram link in the chat. Big up to him, man. What an absolute legend. Real says it how it is, and I very much appreciate his time. What a geezer. Cole, you wanted to say something there, bruv?
Was I going to say something? I
thought I heard someone say something. No, was that just me?
That was just you.
Was it? I thought I heard someone say something. No? Okay.
That wasn't me. How much have you drunk anyway?
Huh? Oh yeah, no. I thought while I was getting Darren out, I heard someone say something. That's
Aaron. It wasn't me.
Can I bring up
that's it. Just quickly before you come in, my geezer, Darren, you do not have to do this. You don't have to, brother. He sits next to me in the Emirates Stadium. He's my brother. He's not literally my brother. He's my geezer, I should say. Yeah, have a couple of sellers on me. All right. Don't worry. Thank you very much. I will. I'll have this one on you. Cheers, Dal. What a geezer. You don't have to do that, bruv. I'll tell you what you do know. Though. He knows someone very close to him that works in Greg's. Give me some of them fucking pastries. Give me some. Give me some pastries. I want someone coming around later.
Can I bring up a stat?
Of course you can, my friend. That's what we do here.
Okay, the penalty, right? That Saka missed, right? Why try and do a Panenka in a high pressure game like that.
And put it down the middle as well, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do it in a big game such as that. I'm sorry, I don't care. You know, whether you're Saka or Odegaard or whoever takes a penalty for us, you do not try and be clever and try and Panenka a keeper like
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You're right,
going on to we've had 6 penalties this season, and we've missed half of them.
Yeah.
We've only scored excuse me, we've scored 3 penalties, 2 of which came in the same game at West Ham. We have not had a penalty given to us at home in the Premier League all season.
Never in the box, Lawrence.
What's
you
that?
Know what I mean? We're never in the box to get one with the way Arteta plays. Yeah. Pass around outside the box. It's not like Liverpool where it's just frantic attacking down the wings. We'd get more penalties if we were more, frantic like Newcastle and Liverpool, but we just pass it around outside the box. You know what I mean? But you're right, 3 penalties missed, man. 3 penalties out of 6 missed is a disgrace. And they came in big games, Madrid and United in the
West
Cup.
Ham.
We missed.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm about specifically Saka. Sorry. Yeah.
But I will say, the one thing about that Saka penalty is that it was a ridiculous thing to do and a ridiculous thing to try, and he missed. It just made his calm, chipped finish against the best keeper in the world even more impressive. It showed his mentality that he got past it. I'll give him that, because to be clean through like that after missing a silly penalty in the Bernabeu and to just calmly flick it over the keeper and walk away and be like, what were you worried about? Amazing.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely yeah. But I don't know what Saka was thinking. I mean, it's just like brain fart, isn't it? Like that, and that's why. And I don't know whether I said it on this stream. I might have said it earlier. I definitely said it on Deluded stream earlier. Do you know what my little boy said to me? Right, he's 7 years old. Everyone, he quite likes Madrid, but he was supporting Arsenal, and he was watching it with me. Yeah, and he sees Odegaard with the ball walking up there, and he looked around at me because my telly's on the wall there. I stand up watching the football. I can't sit down. Anyways, like, he stood up with me, and he looked at me. He was like that. He was like, Dad. He was like, why's Odegaard taking the penalty? I went, I ain't got a fucking clue, son. And then Saka comes and takes it. He went, Dad. Looked back up at me. He was like, why's Saka taking the penalty? Why ain't Declan Rice taking the penalty? Because he hit them free kicks from 35 yards out. Why can't he just do it from 12 yards out? I went, I don't know, son.
Got a good point, mate. Got a good point.
I was like,
the thing is, Aaron,
we're 67 years old and he gets it. Like, what are we doing? Declan Rice wouldn't have weak foot pillow for Panenka it, would he?
And the thing is, Aaron, like, Saka has missed a lot of penalties in his career. I mean, I can name a few of them.
Big pens, bro.
Yeah, so I'll name them. So the first penalty he missed was in the European Championship in 2020 when Italy won that competition. And big up to them for doing that, because we were shit in that game. And Saka, I mean, I felt kind of sorry for him that he missed that penalty, but like, it is what it is. Like, he's young. I gave him and saying, look, I'm not gonna like cuss him too much. He's young. I will give him something because he played very well in that European Championship. Then the next penalty he missed was against West Ham when we drew 2-2 with them. I was on his case. I said to him, you stupid fucking waste man. Why are you not like smashing it into the like the top corner of the net? But instead, you're trying to be so slick. You're trying to like roll the ball so easily. And that allowed Areola to make the save. And that was when we bottled the league title that year. And now the game against Real Madrid, when we missed that penalty, when he missed it, I was on his case. I said, oh, Saka, not again. Like, why would you do this? Like, why are you trying to be like Zinedine Zidane with that Panenka goal? You're not Zinedine Zidane. Zidane is miles clear of you. He could score a far better Panenka goal than you ever could. But I was happy I was happy he started to get his mind back on track when he got that goal. I was happy for him because he really got that penalty nightmare out of his head and scored that amazing goal. And big up to him. And hopefully he carries it on. But I do not want to see any more of that Panenka penalties, because like these Panenka penalties, like they are basically tarnishing the legacy of legendary players that have scored that kind of goals. So I do not want to see any one of our players do that Panenka goal, because it's just not good enough. They should just score like that how they want to score, not like on how they want to score from players like Zidane, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and all these other legends. Like, score your own goal.
Yeah.
There was I don't know if you saw the Newcastle Crystal Palace game during the week, but Palace had a penalty, right? And Eze took it, and I'd lost count the number of times he took a stutter step before he hit the ball. And by the time he ran up to the ball and hit it, it was more like a back pass. I mean, the keeper didn't even have to make a full-length dive to stop it. It was a back pass, basically.
Harry Kane is a prime example. He's one of the most lethal goal finishers we've seen in our lifetime. But you don't see him doing a Panenka on a penalty, do you? No. What you see, he runs up and buries it bottom left or buries it bottom right. Why? Because that's what he knows how to do. I see too many players that do stuff. I'll try and do a Panenka. I'll try and do this. Try to be cocky about it when it got to a penalties. Goalkeepers nowadays are more smarter now than it used to be. Used to be they just dive one way because that was all they knew. Now they know. Now all these tricks are coming in through the penalties. They're like, right, we're not moving yet until we, because when you start. By the time you actually get to the penalty, you started up to the penalty. You're gonna go have all that power in your leg to actually fire that shot and angle it at the same time. And 9 times out of 10, that doesn't come off. So it's like just all I said on my WhatsApp was just bury it. Just bury it bottom right, bury it bottom left, and that's fine. The tie's over another. And I lost my shit when he did when he tried a Panenka. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it's frustrating, man. But there's something else that I want to roll out and have a little chat, about. And I've said this for quite a long time, to be fair. But I've said it on multiple channels this particular week, and I want to get all your opinions. Chat, I want your opinions on it as well. So, and of course the panels. And whoever shouts in first, hey, you go first. I think this year, Arsenal being first in the home leg is going to be an extreme beneficial thing to us. And do you know why I say that? It's because
every time we played in the second leg, it's always been at home.
Well, yeah, and we've always done very, very, very bad under Mikel Arteta in all the competitions. And you know, I just sort of think, from other than quite right, Carl, from a factual point of view, from a sort of tactical point of view, I reckon this team's actually set up for it. And by that, I mean, you look at the case in point being the Etihad a year ago, when we stunk a place out for a 0-0. We went there for that 0-0 and we got it. Whether that's right or whether that's wrong is absolutely not the point I'm trying to make. We went there to do that, and we bloody done it. And we've done it a lot. Mikel Arteta knows how to go away and stink the place out. Now, I've also seen Arsenal be horrendous at home. Very, very, very bad at home all season. Not so much in Europe, but we've not been great. And last season, I was at Porto. We lost 1-0. That was the first leg. We come back, and I was at the home leg, and we was not good. We was very, very, very nervy up until that Trossard late goal, and then we eventually had to beat them on penalties. It weren't a very good atmosphere. It really, really weren't a good atmosphere. Now, you couple that now with the Real Madrid performance. We had them first. We went there, obviously, it's the first leg, so it was 0-0. There's no previous scars. There's also a second leg to try and rediscover something should we be down. I reckon it's a pressure game. It's a semi-final of a major European trophy. But I personally think this particular team in this particular season is actually set out for it. They can go to the Emirates with less pressure, express themselves. And do you know what? If they can nick a 1-0 win, I do trust them to some good extent to be able to stink the place out. Whereas I genuinely believe, even if we was to say have the first leg in Paris, if we even drew, which would technically be a good result, I don't think the players, knowing that they absolutely 100% have to win, I reckon that sort of pressure gets to our squad. So run with me, boys. Here, I genuinely believe being first at home, I reckon it's beneficial to us. Anyone want to come back with me?
It is beneficial to us, I think, because you look at the way how we set up at home. We usually, when we're away from home in the first leg, we always try and act defensively, and sometimes that bites us on the arse on the return leg, because then we've then got to come out fighting. Whereas if you come out fighting on the first leg, you say you get the win, then you have that gap, and now you have that certainty. You say, okay, we can play more defensive, and then we just pick our moments. This is how well it's gone for us so far in the Champions League this season. It's the fact we've actually played at home, we've gone and got the result we wanted, and then we've gone back to the opposing team for the second leg, and we've actually managed to withstand that. You know, obviously, but PSV was the first game. We slapped them up 7-1, but that game was done and dusted. We didn't need to put any of our stars out, but that ship sailed. I personally feel like that if we was away to PSG, I'd be more worried because obviously Thomas Partey not available. But because we're at home, I think we'll be able to withstand PSG at home. I'm not going to say we're going to win like the same we did with Real Madrid, like another 3-0. What I will say is that if we even take like a 1-goal lead into PSG, that still should. They've now got to try and break us down. They've got to try and break our defense down, which Real Madrid barely couldn't. Saliba locked up Kylian Mbappe for 180 minutes.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that.
And he's gonna be targeting Dembele. He's gonna be targeting Dembele all game.
Me and Aaron discussed this already, and we said it even before the Madrid game that the home leg does suit us better for the sheer reason that. Am I glitching there? Or is it just on my screen? Anyway, yeah, for the sheer reason that, like you said, Carl, the away leg, if we went and lost 1-0, I think the mentality would be different coming back. But I think if we take even a goal lead to Paris, we're beating them. I think if we take a goal lead, we're beating them to Paris because we'll just we'll put like credit where credit's due. We are one of the best teams at just locking up when we need to. You know what I mean? And Aaron pointed out the little nudge that Martinelli gave. Thingamajig when he was taking the throw and it just slowed it down a bit, and there's all these little, we're good at it. When we go too far into this dark arts, we can end up getting booked and sent off and stuff like that, but we are good at it, you know. So I think if we take a 1-0 lead even, I think we'll beat them. And I could see it happening. I could see us winning 1-0 over 2 legs. PSG to me, you know, yes, this is one of the not so great Madrid teams, but they still have a front line of absolute world class strikers or world class wingers, I suppose, all playing, fighting it out for one position. But if we do take even a goal lead to Paris, I think we'll do them. I really do, and I think it all falls on the first leg, and that's why I would, like you said, I prefer the first leg first because I want to go to the away leg knowing what we need. You know what I mean? I want to go into that knowing exactly what we need to get through. I wouldn't like to go into it blind, going, "Oh God, what if we get this or get that?" and then we end up doing neither, you know. So if we can get what we need at home, then we know exactly what we need going into the away leg. If we end up losing at home, we can just go, fuck it, we'll just go out there and give it a go. And if we lose by more, we lose by more. But if we get a win, we'll go there and we'll go, good luck trying to break us down, mate. I don't care who you are. So see what happens. And it'd be in PSG's head, they'll be going, Madrid couldn't even break them down, man. How are we going to do it, you know? So yeah, I definitely think for us, and our away form's always all right against big teams, man. Especially when we just get a draw. You know, we go to Anfield and get draws and things like that in the Etihad. So, yeah, no, I'm fully in agreement that the home leg suits us better. I think it definitely suits us better.
I think I just safely want the first leg just to be over and done with. And when I say over and done with, what I mean by is we actually smack the crap out of them while Partey is out, because then let's say for example we do take, say we get another 3-0 lead, we take it back to PSG. Are they going to get 3 goals against us if we play defensively? Partey returning? Of course they're not. We will do what we did last time. Moreno will come up, will be forward. He'll move back into midfield. Lewis Skelly will invert, or Timber will invert, and either one will drop back on the fullbacks. You've then condensed the midfield to 5 and 6 players in the midfield. PSG are not getting through that. They've got technical ability. Even with Kvaratskhelia and Dembele back in the squad, they're not going to get through that midfield. Real Madrid couldn't even land. You know, in boxing, you know when a boxer's landed like a pad punch, you know when someone's landed a straight right hook and it's connected hard. Real Madrid were hitting pad punches on us it weren't affecting us at all.
No, yeah, exactly. Same in at the game at the Etihad when we went down a man and we just went locked up and just filled the box. Apart from the goal at the last minute or injury time, they didn't really trouble Raya. You know what I mean? When we need to lock up like that, we can. We're very good at it. But that's why, I definitely prefer the away leg. Get the home leg done. Get a result that we can use and know what we have to do. And if what we have to do is defend, then they're in trouble. They're in big trouble because we are one of the best in the world at it.
Yeah.
There's the positivity for you fuckers.
Catalan, you're right. PSG ain't the same team we played. They are not going to be the same team because of Kvaratskhelia and Dembele are back. Dembele is not and Kvaratskhelia didn't came into the side. So
let me remind you. Let me remind you. This is the same PSG team that we were 2-0 up and we bottled it.
Yeah.
We bottled that lead.
Yeah, but you had no Rodri. That's your excuse.
And of course, no. That isn't my excuse, Carl. Now, come on. Come on now. I mean, I'm telling you, the main problem was our defense. Our defense was
at the time. Yeah, at the time you had a bit of issues, especially with no Rodri. Yeah, and look, it is what it is. Yeah, look, okay, you've seen it. The point that you're making, obviously, is that. Do you know what I mean? They can come back. They can also, be in a very, very, very advantageous point and almost drop it as well when you flip the coin the other way. They nearly let it slip right up against Aston Villa. So do you know what I mean? Like they've proved, they can come back from a 2-0 down against a top team, but they can also let it go against not an average team, but you kind of catch my drift. Carl, you look like you want to say something.
I think what I was watching about that Villa game, mate, was PSG. They had blistering counter-attack. Aston Villa just pushed too many men forward. They tried to go toe-to-toe with them. And I think if you try and go toe-to-toe with PSG, I think you're going to end up on the receiving end. And
this Arsenal team will,
The Arsenal team will. This is why we won't convert. We won't push. We won't have that high line that we're so used to. I think we're going to drop back another maybe another 5 yards or so, make it a little bit more compact. I think this is a game where you have to pick your moments in the game. Take your moments, take your shots. If you get the first goal early, if you hit them in the first 5 minutes with a goal early, then you're making PSG then come out, and then you can say, cool, now you come on to us then. Just don't leave any space in behind, because guess what? We've got Martinelli, Saka that can actually beat your fullbacks.
Dembele, if I pronounced your name right there. Not just yet, my friend. Not just yet, my friend. And apologies for possibly butchering your name there, my friend. Connor's also saying that PSG is exactly the same team. I don't know, bruv. Stop this narrative, Google lads. In the chat, only missing Dembele. They had signed Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, let me answer this point, my man. And I can understand-ish the point where you're coming from, but this is a totally different cohesive team. The way they're playing is totally different. Yeah, they may only have one or two different names, but they've got Kvaratskhelia and they didn't have Dembele there. They were playing shit. Mentality weren't right. That is everything. That is absolutely everything. Do you think that Invincible team would have gone invincible if, they were disjointed? They were playing as one. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but they were bloody together. That's what made them teams so great, is that they were a team. And November, when we played PSG, they was not a team. They were very, very, very disjointed. And now they've got Dembele, they've added back, and they've added Kvaratskhelia. Their midfield is absolutely ticking. They are looking like a team. So whilst you might say, yes, personnel isn't absolutely the same, the way that they are playing is horrifically different, massively different. And that makes a massive difference. It's basically sort of saying, like Arsenal sort of coming into this fixture, we're all buoyed, massively buoyed. If we played PSG Saturday, coming straight off the back of this fantastic Real Madrid thing, everyone would be buoyed. They're playing well. If they just got spanked there, I know it wouldn't actually technically make sense, but if they were coming off the back of horrendous form, they're less likely to do it. And then that's a very short-term explanation of form. But, mate, they have been absolutely flying. They're absolutely flying. And that's the point that we're making. We know the personnel ain't different, but that team is playing as a unit. They are on fire. and they are very, and that's what makes them dangerous for me personally, my man.
Aaron,
Look, go on.
and Aaron, you know what's interesting? Since Kylian Mbappe left PSG, look at the way they're playing. They're
Much
playing as
better,
a
much
unit.
more of a team. Yeah,
They tried to go the superstar route and it didn't work.
yeah.
They tried
And
to
then
go
they ripped it up.
They
And
tried to go
I'll give
superstar.
them credit
They
for
ripped it up, start from scratch. Right. Let's get
And I
Luis
give
Enrique in.
them massive credit.
Give
for
us your identity. What do you want out of this team? He said we need young.
Baby
We need, he
Barcelona
said we
has
need youth.
Leeds,
We need talent. We need speed.
Yeah,
That's what
That's what I
he
want to
needed.
see here.
And he's actually got that. Barcola, I think, is a scrub. I don't think he's that good. I'll be very honest with you.
I would
But
say Doué.
Doué's quality.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Doué's quality.
Well, quality.
He's still raw. He's still very raw, but I think he's going to be a really dangerous player in the future.
With the comment there, and Aaron explained it really well that they're a different team now with the form, and it makes a massive difference. I mean, they're unbeaten in their league, and they're just smashing everybody, and they beat Liverpool, and they're on a roll. But even if you do go down the whole narrative of, oh yeah, it's only two players difference in Dembele and Kvaratskhelia, yeah, but it's their two best attacking players, two of the best attacking players around at the moment. So I mean, even if you go down the personnel route, they're two big players not to have. They're two massive players not to have, and they're both in world-beating form as well. Now they're coming up against, to me, the best right back in the world at the moment in Timber. More positivity, not flip that down. And Lewis Skelly, who's could become one of the best left backs in the world. Another one flipped that. And
One thing as well,
two best players.
Yeah, that's cool. Just quickly, because Connor, like, as far as I can see, he's not being.
Oh no, I'm not getting at him. I'm not getting at him.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that. This is more directed at Connor. Yeah, I know you're not being a dick, and that's why when I can see comments like that would be sort of, maybe asking a question. We're all cool with that, Connor, man. Like, this is what we do on this channel. We'd have a debate. If you was being like a knob about it, which you weren't, you know what I mean? We'd probably, or I personally would match someone's energy, but you're not. That's why I don't mind just explaining my point of view. You could also still then not agree with me, but it's cool. And you're saying just the narratives people in the chat. Oh yeah, I can't sort of say for that. I don't know. That's all. The bar keeps getting moved, but I agree now. They are different. Yeah, they're different now, but the same team. We're sort of on the same-ish sort of page. But then, you know what I mean? Just saying, big up the panel. Yeah, big up to yourself. That's it. I don't ever mind anyone being challenged. You know what I mean? I don't mind myself personally being challenged. We can all do it about the right way, but you didn't do anything in the wrong way from what I can see. That's what it's all about. I don't mind explaining if someone challenges my point of view personally. Please, just, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you was. Just don't be a cock about it. I'll happily, you know what I mean, have a little chat. And we don't have to ever agree with it. Like, we really don't. You might go, you know what, Aaron, cheers for your opinion. I don't really agree with you, brother, but, so-and-so. And I'll go, cool, buzzing, sweet. Do you know what I mean? That's what we do here. We don't scream for that crap. Do you know what I mean? But big up her, Connor, for your point. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I can't speak for that. But thanks to you, and you know what I mean. We like all of that shit. You was gonna say something, AK?
Oh yeah, Shane. And also, I mean, I wanted to add something as well. Like, PSG have Hakimi, who has been on form. I'm just giving you some tips on who you had to be aware of. First of all, of course, we know that Marquinhos is a bozo in defense. He has been a bozo lately, but I have to say, you have to watch out for Nuno Mensch and Hakimi. At both left back and right back.
Yeah.
And especially Donnarumma.
Yeah, but I know, AK. I know you say that Marquinhos is a bozo, and I agree with you. He has some bozo moments in him, but he's played with some of the best players that PSG used to have. They used to have the likes of Cavani, Zlatan, David Luiz, Thiago Motta,
Verratti.
Thiago Silva. Like, he's played with some of the elitist players when he was when they were all there. So like, Marquinhos is a decorated player because he's won a lot of French titles with PSG. So even though he has been a bit off pace and a bit sluggish in defense, he is still a decorated defender. And he's got William Pacho next to him. William Pacho is another powerful defender as well. A signing from Eintracht Frankfurt. So like PSG's defense can really give Moreno a bit of a battle on the 29th of April.
Yeah. No, facts, man. It's gonna be a tricky tie, that's for sure, man. I see my man down here, man. How are you doing, Doctor? The Doc.
Oh, me.
The Doc.
Wagwan, brethren. Wagwan.
The Doc. How are you doing, Geezer? Boy, it's a
I'm-
pleasure to see that wonderful face of yours. How you doing, bro?
Nah, man, no, it's good, man. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day out here. We
Rub
got-
it in.
Oh.
Oh, actually, where's that remove off stage button? Fucking beautiful day out here.
21 degrees
Oh, wait,
Celsius,
same
sunny outside. Just
Oh.
came back from the gym. Like I'm feeling right and tight for the weekend, boy.
Yeah, boy.
You know it.
How you feeling about Arsenal PSG?
I mean, like with everything related to Arsenal, seeing is believing. So I certainly think that this as we know, like this manager, he is going in. He's walking along a path that he's never walked previously. Because I don't think playing career wise he's ever reached the semis of the Champions League. I don't believe he has. And what I can say though is that beating Real Madrid, like that should be the impetus. Like that should be all the confidence they need to take that to the final and and lift the trophy. At the end of the game. I think to a gentleman that you had on earlier, when he was mentioning that that his animosity for Arteta is personal. I certainly agree with that, simply because he is an extension of Arsene Wenger at the end of the day, and Wenger would bottle those opportunities. So I'm certainly hoping that I'm certainly hoping that a lot of the uncertainty that that some of us fans have is quickly quelled. Like in the first leg, and we basically show to either Inter or Barcelona that that politely Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. You know what I mean? So we gotta go, guns blazing out, kick down the door, yell out, "It's a stick up!" Hit the floor.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let me ask you this as well while I've got you. Do we need to score? Oh, sorry. Let me refresh this. Do we need to win the first leg to go through against PSG? Do we need to win there, or do you reckon we could get away with a draw and do something in Paris?
First leg's at home again, right?
Yeah.
I think we have to.
I'm with you.
I think it's absolutely critical to not only set the tone for the semis, but I think, as we've seen, not only with this squad but also with this manager, they are entirely confidence driven. And we can certainly say that a lot of that a lot of squads are like that, but a lot of the top squads also have players that can produce individual moments of brilliance. And I personally believe that it was things exactly like that. Whether it was the FA Cup run in 2020, where we had individual performances from say Abba, Pepe, Lacazette. They helped us get over the line. Declan Rice this past in the quarterfinals, it was entirely that individual brilliance that got us over the line. But I think as far as going up against Paris, we definitely need to set the tone early. But just as well, we have been the most successful team in this competition. That should be confidence above all else.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, mate. Absolutely. That's the one thing that people don't get. We've got confidence from it. We were happy after Wednesday, for crying out loud. We were all buzzing. Everyone in this panel, everyone that's an Arsenal fan in this chat, or anyone that likes Arsenal that ain't an Arsenal fan in this chat, we're all buzzing. And And it does give us a little bit more confidence. I've said this numerous amounts of times. Why wouldn't it? It basically says, do you know what? You can go in that first leg at home and get a result. We don't know what that looks like yet, but we're confident that we can. Even if it's a 1-0, God knows I would love another 3-0. I would love it. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. I'd love a 1-0. I'd take that because I know that this team can go to Paris and stink a result out. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got that in our locker.
The only amendment that I would say to that, which certainly coincides with like with performances like this being in our locker.
Yeah.
What bothers me is that we haven't seen a performance like this across the season.
Thank God. Yeah.
Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron.
Go on, brother.
Let me give you this as a scenario. What happens if PSG score? What happens if PSG score a goal in the first leg? Are you going to be that confident?
What you mean? Still with the game to play? Like say they go 1-0 up at 30th minute or whatever.
Yeah.
My man, do you know what? Obviously, that's as well a realistic thing. I would then believe we need to score 2 goals to go through. I don't think. I think we'd be out if we lost 1-0. If we lost 1-0, 100%, I can't see us going to Paris and getting 2. Not even maybe a 1-0 win. I just don't doubt it. We'd then have to attack them, and I don't really think us on the front foot trying to break teams. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's for me. I think we've got to win the first leg, yeah. But if we went 1-0 down, I mean, it's silent in the Emirates. I will be there. My ticket's automatically purchased tomorrow. They didn't do it today because it's the bank holidays, isn't it? But now you make a very good point that not many people are actually sort of mentioning. Yeah, if you go 1-0 down, that will be a very silent Emirates. Trust me, yeah, because that'll be bursting a massive, massive bubble. Everyone's bubble a little bit because we're all on a mini little cloud. Whether we like it, we've got our feet on the ground, but we're all on this little cloud of what if. It's all in the back of our heads. What if? Do you know what I mean? It is just slightly. Some's bigger, some's only just a tiny little. What if we go 1-0 down?
No,
yeah, shit starts getting serious. Go on, Cole. Was it someone who was that? Was it?
No, it just me.
I'm going to shoot off though.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Shane, big up, man. Shout your channel out. I'll post
big
it
up,
in
Shane.
there. What you got coming up, bro?
Yeah, just spread my screen out there for a second, will you, so you can see my background.
Yeah. How do I do that?
I think you can just put one.
Solo layout. Here we go.
Oh,
here he is. We love it.
You can put me back now.
Nah, you're going to carry on the show, man.
Yeah,
it's yours. Take over. Shane Gooner, take over. I actually don't know how to get rid of it. I'm not even joking. I put full screen layout on mine now, exit full screen. So you're asking me to do things I don't know how to do. There you go. Here we go.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah, man. Listen, I'm going live in the morning with the Full Irish Breakfast again. And then I'm going to do the decades thing. Went really well. The first live when I did the 80s this morning, it went really well. So I'm going to do the 90s one live. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be mostly about Arsenal and United. Really, you can't really talk about the 90s without that. And I'll be on with you Monday night, obviously. And I'm going to the Full Irish Breakfast thing will become a sort of every odd day, every second day maybe until see if it takes off. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow morning at 10:30. If anyone in the chat come in, show their support, show their love. Subscribe to the panel, and it was a superstar chat, as Aaron always says. Subscribe to everybody in the panel, including me, you bastards. I've been stuck on 169 for ages. And subscribe to everybody in the panel.
3 months, man. Yeah. Just come, or it will come. You want to buy it? Seriously, like and subscribe.
Putting the work in, man. But yeah, subscribe to everybody in the panel. Subscribe to Aaron. Like the video. Share the video. And to people watching it on playback, rinse and repeat everything I just said, and I will see you tomorrow morning, and I'll see you Monday. Aaron.
Yeah, man. Yeah, now buzzing. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you on, Shane. You know that, bruv.
Cheers, guys. Legend.
Cheers, Shane.
Right, for everyone, Shane's link has just been posted in the chat. So he's been stuck on 169. What we doing? Go over there, give that cheeky little click, and go and sub to Shane. What we doing here? Let's get him to 170 at least. Come on. Give him a little
Come
cheeky.
on, get the
touch,
likes up, you people.
That's what we can do.
Get
And
the
yeah,
likes up. What do you
Listen,
mean?
you are a Spurs fan, true and through. Hit the like if you are not a Spurs fan. That's all.
that's it. That's it. Listen to the doc. He's a doctor for crying out
Big
loud.
up
He's a
Doc every
vet.
single time. Go dip.
Yeah, listen to the doc. Do you know what I mean? Listen to the doc.
Listen to the
Lawrence.
Doc. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Aaron,
Oh yeah, Aaron. I was saying something.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. I've just gone to Lawrence and then I'll jump to you, AK.
yeah, something that's been racking my brain. How
I'm
come?
racket, mate. I'm racket.
How come we can turn it on in Europe? Yeah, when it comes to the Premier League, we struggle against the likes of Brentford, West Ham, Everton, and Fulham.
It's all been done by design.
Talk that shit, Lawrence. Talk it.
Jump in, Carl, if you want, bro.
So I think it's all done by design.
It's your
Lawrence.
show.
I just think the way we've played in the league, it has looked boring, dull, and tedious. It has been much better in the cups either. And I've noticed this as well when we played in the Champions League. I thought, hang on, we're playing with a lot more intensity, a lot more aggression than what we really do in the league. Well, what's going on here? And as we're going further and further into the season, I'm generally thinking this is being done deliberately. This is not just by design. It's not just by design, but it's also being done deliberately. It just feels like the Arteta has now decided to go, okay, we're not winning the league this year. We don't give a care about cups. Let's go and win the Champions League instead. That's kind of what it feels like. I mean, I could be wrong, but the only time we've ever played well in these sorts of games was when we AK, when we Pam City 5-1.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, no, there ain't been many good performances, is there?
No, there hasn't. Not in the league.
Yeah, you're going to say something.
What I was going to jump in and say is that
jump.
It is so peak arrogant and just right on the nose with Arteta. That he hasn't won dick squat since that FA Cup. And now and for years on end, we had bottled 2 league titles at minimum. We had wasted this year, just completely squandered it. But aside that, I think there's a lot of merit, in what you said, Carl. That it's just a complete laser focus on the biggest, most exciting, I guess competition around. But I think it also just proves how one-dimensional Mikel is. That he's not only that for building such a massively expensive squad and for building it's still thin on quality and depth, and it's not able to compete on multiple fronts. That at minimum should be warrant for a straight sack. Should be warranted, but that's not how this freaking football club moves. So, unfortunately,
Lawrence, I cut you there, my friend. What was you going to say? Apologies for that.
No. I was just listening to what everyone's opinion was about that, because it just seems it's just like there's 2 different teams. There's the one that's in the Champions League that is focused, and then there's the one in the Premier League that doesn't give a shit. I mean, it was the prime example was last weekend at against Brentford. We battered them, but we didn't take our chances.
Yeah, mate, we don't take our chances. That's the sort of problem, man. And do you know what? One thing I will say is we have to take our chances against PSG. We had a lot of chances we didn't take against Real Madrid. I know Courtois had an absolute worldie. He just did. But there was also a few drag backs, cutbacks, that we sort of should really be putting in the net. In the first leg, we've got to be burying them. We have to, because it's going to be nervy. Now, I remember before we played Real Madrid, I actually rewatched back 15-minute extended highlights of each leg. And I remembered the vast majority of the chances, but I actually forgot, or it may be sort of underappreciated. how bloody good we was as well. You know, we was right attacking them. Sometimes it's easy to forget and think, oh, we won the 1-0, the Henry moment, and then that little bit in isolation sort of gets lost as well. It was just one moment of magic. We were bloody good in them legs. And we were excellent against Juventus as well. I'll never forget that Robert Pires slide tackling Patrick Vieira. And then we go on and score that second goal. Fabregas, possibly. I'm not too sure. I know he got one of the two. But the point I'm making is then I watched that Villarreal one, and that was nervy. That was a totally different sort of ball game. And, you know, this is going to be a nervy fest as well. We ain't going to be seeing, like, 5-1 on aggregates in these legs. We're not going to be seeing, you know, what was the other one? Was it like 6-5 at Villa or something crazy like that? I just can't see it happening. You've got Inter and Barca on the other end, and you've got Arsenal and PSG on the other. It's going to be tight, close affairs, you know. I just think we have to win that first leg. We just absolutely have to. What would you go? Let's go around on a scoreline. Carl, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Scoreline.
What for the first leg?
For the first leg, home leg. Talk to me. And we'll wrap up on this.
2-1 Arsenal.
I like it. Lawrence, what we saying, bro? Scoreline.
I'll be a bit optimistic. I'll say 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, nice. Macy, what you saying, bruv?
So like I said, we shouldn't underestimate PSG because they are perhaps I'm gonna call them the Godzillas of this competition because they have they've absolutely demolished everyone in their path. So I'm not confident we can beat PSG. So if I had to go for a prediction, I'll probably go for maybe a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. I don't think we'll get through with that, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, if we're going to score 2 goals, hopefully we just don't concede 2. Do you know what I mean? But now, pick up, Mace.
Thanks, Aaron.
AK, what do you reckon with the scores?
Yeah, I was about to actually talk about your game against PSG. I'll just say this, that it is crucial that you have to win the first leg at home before you go to the Parc des Princes, because the Parc des Princes, the atmosphere, I'm telling you, it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult to play in that atmosphere as well, because PSG's atmosphere it's mental. It's mental there. So all I have to say is you have to win that first leg at the Emirates. You have to win the first leg before going to the second leg, because second leg is where PSG have the high ground and they are going to take full advantage of it. They're going to take full advantage of that home base. So all I have to say is, so I'm going to probably, I think, like as Macy said, PSG not going to, bend over that easily. So it is going to be a spicy competition between Arsenal and PSG. So I'm going to go, I think probably 3-2 Arsenal. 3-2 Arsenal, I reckon.
What, the first
it's
leg,
gonna
yeah?
be goals galore. It's gonna be goals galore.
You reckon so?
Jesus, I don't want panic attacks on my fucking stream. I really don't.
Yeah. That's definitely what
I better be wearing khaki underwear for that game. If that's the result.
I've got khaki shorts, so yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah. The old tighty whities need to just stay for another day, don't they?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Another day.
It's not Saturday Night Fever, mate. No, it's like...
Yeah. Doc, come on, man. What we saying?
Crazy as it sounds, I think I'm going to say 3-0.
Is it?
That is super toxic positive. That is. What?
I mean, like, I'm even still, questioning myself saying this. I mean, all I'll say is that, as I said before, like, we should be going into that PSG game after we just slapped Madrid over both legs. Like, that is something that, certainly I never had foreseen, and a lot of people did not foresee. I would certainly think, that after performing like that, either PSG is going to wise up and try to mitigate, like what we do on the ball. But I don't know. I think that they should be riding into this, like as if they just, I don't know, like as if they just won the lottery. Like I think they should be, like going at it like completely head on. I think they really should be winning it 3-0. But I guess there's a part of me that could see it maybe being 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I actually I've gone for a little cheeky 2-1 as well. I've just got a little feeling like they might nick a cheeky goal. I reckon it's going to go 1-0 Arsenal, 1-1, and then I reckon we'll come back and get a 2-1. And do you know what? I will be confident that we can go there and maybe stink the place out. I will be confident that we can sort of shut them down because we've seen it numerous amounts of times in different stadiums now in different competitions that we have that capacity, guys, to be able to do it. I'm just quickly going to the toilet, but Carl, before we go, shout out your channel and what have you got coming up, my friend, and then I'll come back to the last little chats and.
That's fine. Yeah, you can follow my channel, Gundown UK. You see me find me on Instagram, Gundown UK _33. I will have my call-in show tomorrow night. That'll be returning. Monday, I'll have episode 2 of the new podcast I put out known as Take Aim. So basically taking aim at anything happening in the Premier League and in the Champions League and so on, and any news related to football-wise. Wednesday, we'll have my live watch-along for our home to Crystal Palace, so make sure you tune in for that. And then I will be doing the Arsenal anger management will be returning, even though I don't know what to be angry about. So I've got to try and figure something out with that one. And also the little channel that I help, which is to do with the New England Patriots in the NFL. We'll be doing a live stream for the NFL draft. So, and I will be your host for the Patriots Touchback. So, I'll be moonlighting on Thursday. So I might need a shit ton of coffee by the time I'm done with. But, no, it's
get the caffeine in, Carl.
The caffeine will be in, and I will be on the Pats Touchback on Tuesday night as well, as we will be doing mock drafts, which is always the fun part of the draft. So yeah.
Oh, lovely, man. Well, I've just put your link in the chat, man, so people can go over and check out what everything you got's coming up, man. It was good content over there. People need to go over and have a little look. Just before we wrap up, chat. Shane Gooner saying 3 more likes to go, people. Come on.
You're all moving like Havertz. Get to 100.
97,
get to 100.
Man.
Get to 100. Come on.
You're turning like Mertesacker. What are you doing, people?
Bunch of closet Spurs fans in here. Like the video
Yeah,
already.
push it, guys. Push it. Push it like
come
a
on,
minute,
man.
guys.
Let's get
Come on,
100
guys.
before we wrap up. Come on, people, man. Before we close, just a big thanks to the people that are still in the building. Maybe they're not, but maybe they are. To Dio, bruv, world class. Connor, man, big up to you, bruv. DWTT, Geezer. Sahid, mate, big up, mate. And I actually agree with you on this comment that you put. I feel like the red card against Rice in the fall will ruin the push to win the league. I actually 100% agree with you. I've said on numerous streams, including that stream, I got Oasis tickets afterwards. So, it made me feel a lot better. And they're premium ones. Ka-ching. That I was sitting there in the stadium watching. I was watching the stadium and I didn't see the champions. I definitely didn't. That day, bruv, was when I was convinced that Arsenal would not win the title. I just looked there after they'd fucked around and I just went, nah. And I still haven't been proven wrong. No crystal ball, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Vemba, I don't know how to pronounce it. Put an F if it's fur or tur or yep. I don't get it, but appreciate it. Sorry for butchering it. Cheers for still being here. Lewis, bruv, big up, man. Suge, big up, Geezer. Cheers for still being here, man, and appreciate everything. Lewis, big up, Geezer. I'm not going to have a go, but big up. Abaji, is it, my friend? Sorry if I've got that massively wrong, but big up, man. I've seen you in my chat a lot. Absolute geezer. Eros, what a fridge freezer. Lennox, mate, big up. United fan, but what a geezer. Shane, obviously, he's saying a little bit of hello. How you doing? And yeah, that is it, gentlemen. Yeah, man, big up, boys. Big up, boys. Don't forget, like and sub. And thank you very much. Great Bombers going. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, man. We want to talk about the good stuff. Do you know what I mean? Oh, my sweetheart's still in there as well. Mama Flossie. Absolute superstar, man. #1 supporter. She's first on everything. Do you know what I mean? Absolute top of the bill. What a woman. Yeah, well, she's good stuff, mate. Chat. Absolute world class. Thank you very much. Like and sub. Sub to Cole. Sub to everyone that's been on. Like and sub to the video. This panel has been excellent. Chat. You have been excellent. Themba. Thembella. Sorry. Oh, Thembella. Thank you very much. You have been excellent. If I've got that wrong as well, we'll get better at it as we come along and you get in the chat. Benji, what a geezer. Thank you very much. Thembella. I'll get it right, my friend. We will leave. Come on, you Gunners. I'll tet her out.